The Drop with Frank and Brian is officially brought to you by Switch Suspension. Switch Suspension specializes in all vehicle chassis components. Lift kits, lowering kits, air ride suspension, wheels, tires, steering, and brake upgrades. They use all the best products from the best brands. And these guys are truck guys. You roll into their parking lot at the shop and they all drive custom vehicles. So they use their products that they sell on their own vehicles. So if you guys are looking for anything for your vehicles, whether you're just starting out or you just need some replacement parts or whatever, give them a call or visit their website, switchsuspension.com.
Hope you enjoyed this episode of The Drop. If you like these podcasts and all the other content we create, head on over to our websites and purchase merch. Purchasing merch keeps us going and creating more content. Our websites are grinder-tv.com and livelifecustom.com. We really appreciate it. Now on to the episode.
We're recording.
Okay.
It is Friday night.
It's Friday. Can I introduce the episode? Welcome to this week's episode.
Damn.
I know. I have to do
All
it.
right.
I have to do it officially.
Okay.
I can't get started unless I do it officially. Welcome to this week's episode. We're still here at the Drop Cabin in Maggie Valley, North Carolina. And here's another guest episode. This is probably the first guest episode that you guys will be seeing.
It will be.
It will be, 100%. And we have other guest episodes going down. So look forward to those. But today, we have Uncle Joey and Cousin Tony.
Hold on.
Oh, we didn't have to say the rules. You can't
Tiffany's
hit the
Oh, yeah. Don't hit the table.
Oh, and we need,
Oh, coasters?
No apple juice at the table.
because every time you hit the thing,
Well, mine is
I
mine's
wanted to
don't
show
matter.
off my Garfield cup full of apple juice.
we need those chairs right there.
Okay, hold on.
All right.
Timeout.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Keep rolling. Sorry.
You know,
Go
it's
ahead.
fine.
Joey,
Yo, Brian. What's
me and
going
Frank
down?
are going to bed. You guys do finish the
Yes.
podcast.
Yeah, we got it. Me and Joey got this.
Me and Tiffany's husband got this
Yeah.
taken care of.
AKA Tiffany's husband.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
That's how
fun.
most people know me.
need it for Joey, too.
No, I put mine on the floor right here between us. Apparently, it's okay for Brian to have a cup on the table, but everybody else can just kiss off.
Yeah, that's fine. Brian is, special.
Kind of special.
Where we're at, we're goddamn hell yeah, brother. Tennessee.
What did
What
that
was
guy
that
say?
guy
I
saying
forgot.
in the truck?
I don't remember.
Oh, he said rock and roll Leonard Skinner or
Oh, no,
something.
yeah, rock and damn roll.
Rockin'
Rock and damn roll.
Rock and damn roll.
show and shine. This is gonna be a chaotic episode.
This is
Yeah.
going to be crazy. It's going to be all over the place. But it is Friday. We're sitting here at Mininats. We've been at the show all day long, hanging out, selling merch. We haven't filmed anything yet.
I haven't even left the booth.
Yeah, we've not left the booth yet.
I walked to Switch and back.
I
been
beg
pretty
to
chaotic.
differ. You did leave the booth and took your phone with you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, oh,
Didn't
so
allow
Joey-
anybody else to try and do business for the weekend.
Joey has been helping out in the booth.
Trying.
About what I don't know how long ago it was. But me and Brian have been planning on coming to this since always, like last year. And then forgot exactly when it was, but then when I found out Joey was going, I got super excited.
I got excited too.
It-
It was
it's-
actually
it-
happening.
What about when you found out Tony was going?
I was like, I'll see you there.
He was super bummed.
I was excited. I was excited. Tiffany
He
was
almost
coming.
got sick again. Is what happened.
Yeah, he almost pulled the San Diego Zoo. I don't know you.
know, I'm not feeling
Yeah.
San Diego Zoo, I don't know you.
Yeah.
Yeah. This episode, we're not going to talk about the trip out here. We'll do that.
No, we'll
on the
do that
review.
later on because it was wild. It was a wild trip. But no, I just really wanted to talk about. Tony's been here a bunch of times. This is Joey's first time experiencing this show. All the craziness, all the greatness, all the cool stuff, and it just started. It's Friday.
Friday.
It just started.
And we were supposed to record this podcast yesterday, and we were just too tired.
Yeah, we went again. We'll talk about that in
Oh,
the,
yeah,
in
true,
the update
true.
episode. But we did go on adventures for the past couple days, checking out Maggie Valley, going to Pigeon Forge with everybody.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it
like
was a great
Tony
time.
and Tiffany were there, Joey, Tuna,
Lindsay.
Jeff, Lindsay, us. It was like a big old group of people just mobbing around.
3
Pigeon
truckloads
Forge.
of violence. Absolutely.
So, Joe, you've been on the podcast twice now, so you
Oh,
don't
this
need
is your
my
third time.
you don't need to be introduced. But
This is-
Tony,
no
needs
one
to be
cares about.
introduced.
Actually,
Professional.
I'm famous. Did you not hear the cat
Oh,
come
yeah.
up to
Yeah.
the booth today?
Yeah.
Someone
Good
came
shout
up
out to
and
you,
was
man. Everybody's like, I need to meet you. Are you Uncle Joey? And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, no. Brian and Frank are messing with me right now. No way this is happening.
Which is funny because the thing that I took away from that is like Joey has been famous or well known or known of for way longer than we've been even doing any of this stuff.
Yeah, you were like low life on the low life
I was
video.
infamous. I don't know that I was
there.
famous.
Oh, I liked how you put that earlier. You're like, I was infamous, and now I'm on my route to being famous.
Famous, yeah.
Yeah,
But let's talk
I
about.
had
Well,
some
we've already
fun.
talked about the infamous times, but yeah.
Yeah, it
You've
was a
done some
lot.
stuff.
I've had a ton of fun. But I was telling somebody today, I was like, I was the guinea pig. I was told you keep it within an hour, you can't cuss at all, and then from then on, guest.
Oh, you're talking about
episodes
your
have been
first time
F
on the
this, F that.
podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And they get to be on for 2-3 hours, but I'm here pigeonholed to 59 minutes. Bet this is gonna be 58 minutes today.
Yeah.
All we need is an hour.
We just need to get
Because we weren't gonna.
Joey would just shut up, then we could move on. And,
Tony, don't you know that when I'm on these episodes and other people are there, I don't let them talk at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more than enough. for
Yeah,
people
we
to
were.
handle.
There was a point in time where we were contemplating not making a podcast.
I know, and I kind of like not freaked out, but I was like, because like you were like, we were leaving the show, and you were like, it's okay if we don't put up an episode, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Something about 100. So this was this is episode
157.
No, 156. So this also is going to go on my channel,
Yeah.
so we're going to have to like get into my YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, something about it, like 155 episodes, consecutive episodes missing when I was
And we started this podcast
Crazy.
right after
Yeah.
Mininats.
right
Yeah.
after Mininats.
Oh, was that when you guys actually decided to do it?
On the
Yep,
way home.
we're on our way home.
Okay.
I remember telling Brian how dumb he was for doing this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, that's a dumb idea. Why would you ever do that?
Still believes that. 156 episodes later.
It's weird. He tells me that about all my ideas.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And then I secretly go back behind his back, and and then I want to do it, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, that's stupid. Don't do that.
I definitely want to do that.
That's called projection.
Yeah.
He came
Yeah,
on the
we were-
podcast just to tell you that thing.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah, see you
Gets
later.
up and leaves.
We also might have Lindsay pop in randomly throughout this episode.
Yeah.
Possibly.
But we need Tony to tell us who he is.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Tony, tell us who you are.
I'm okay. Let's get Tiffany out here, and then she can talk about it.
So I'm, Tiffany's husband. Is how most people know me as. No, Tony, Indiana, just south of Indianapolis.
What's your last name, Tony?
Newman.
And what shop do you own?
So my shop is Creative Custom Works. I opened that shop in 2016. Been doing that.
And when did you get into mini trucks?
Oh man,
Because you're pretty die hard. You're all about it.
He's a mini trucker for sure.
Yeah.
No, I am 100% mini trucker. So the bug bit me when I was 16 years old. My neighbor that lived down the road from us had a bagged canary yellow 91 Silverado extended cab.
And this was in Texas, right?
This was in Houston,
Yeah.
South in Conroe, basically a half a mile from LST where
Yeah.
it was. I used to actually break into the fairgrounds and ride my four wheeler around Montgomery County Fairgrounds and cause havoc. So,
and then it just full circle. You go to
Yeah.
LST.
yep, and then now we go to LST,
Yeah.
so that's pretty cool. But yeah, so this old Mexican guy down the road had a canary yellow truck, and it caught me. And I went down there, talked to him. I was like, dude, this is awesome, And I was like, what is it? And he's like, oh, it has airbags. So in my mind, I'm thinking there was literally like big airbags under the truck that would lift the truck up, And then he
Yeah.
kind of showed me what it was and stuff, and that was
was
the
it.
hook, dude.
Game
That's
over?
cool. And literally game over, and it's been a part of my life every day since. So
That's cool, man.
yeah,
Literally every day almost, right?
Mhm.
Like shop.
yeah.
Oh, that's the other.
I thought it was
Yeah,
the police.
That's our neighbor.
Yeah.
chasing Frank again. We'll discuss that later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got yelled at by the police
Sorry.
today.
Our cabin neighbor from Negative Camera just pulled up.
In his bag Titan.
Yeah.
This whole block is cool. Like this whole block is filled with like truck people, and there's all sorts of
Yeah.
cool trucks laying around.
So what was the first? We're not going to go into a full blown Tony episode because we'll do that later on. But
Yeah.
we need to get an introduction.
Yeah,
at
a
least,
little
like,
base, a little base of
for
Tony.
everybody. Yeah, because this, like I said, this was going to be kind of chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. My first truck.
Yeah, your first truck.
My first truck was 86 C10.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not a mini truck.
No,
That's-
not a mini truck.
Interesting.
My stepdad gave it to me for my 16th birthday. I actually, my mom and that side of the family lived in Indiana, where we live now. Flew up there for the summer. He gave me the truck. It's like, best thing in the world. Drove it back to Texas. Hit a tree and flipped it 6 days later. So,
Oh, dang.
Wow.
so almost killed myself
my
6
gosh.
days after I got my very first truck.
Whoa.
Because you tried to put airbags underneath.
No, I was going way too fast around a sharp turn.
Yeah.
I had two other schoolmates with me at the time, and
Oh, wow.
almost killed them. Yeah, it was
Jeez.
a pretty big deal.
That's
But
rowdy.
It was a cool truck. It was lowered a couple inches. Had a cool exhaust on it. V8. Just
Sounded fast.
yeah. It sounded way faster
Yeah.
than what it was. But after that truck, I ended up moving up to Indiana later that year, and then my very first Mini, I got an '88 square body S10,
Oh, cool.
and that was my first official mini truck.
Standard cab or extra cab?
It was standard cab.
Nice.
Yeah. Lowered it. Put some, I think, 16-inch primes on it, and I put a sub in it. Just basic, teenage shit.
Yeah.
And then after that, I got a S10, and that was my first, personal bag job. I bagged it, did a bunch of stuff to it, made it put a 1-inch airline on it, made it hop, and then I
cool.
So
kind of moved into a.
there is
actual-
Tony is famous in his own sense.
Really? How?
Yeah. So there was like video. Was there videos or was there?
There's video. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's,
video of this. Back in the day, there was the mini trucking show in
Havoc in Louisville.
Louisville.
Yeah,
And there's-
downtown Louisville.
Yeah, there's this truck just hopping like crazy.
It's an extended cab, square body S10.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Lindsay. Have you been outside this whole
Where
time?
did you come from? Were you not downstairs? That
Oh, I
way?
thought you were in your room.
Yeah. She was
Yeah.
talking to the neighbors.
Talking.
So his truck hopped how high off the ground?
It was 5.5, 6 feet.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I remember seeing because a bunch of the guys, not a bunch of the guys from the club, but that was back when like Eddie Sabreco and all
This-
those guys ran.
Was this in a low life video?
Yes, it
Yes.
was.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
Yes.
remember that.
Yeah. It was
It's
Yeah.
like it's me saying, "Are you guys ready?" And everybody's
Yeah.
like, and I'm like, "Are you fucking ready?" And then boom,
That's
pancake.
no
It was
way.
one hit.
Yeah.
It broke after that hit, but
Oh,
there was
my
several
gosh,
shows.
that's
Like
crazy.
I took it to Greenville. I hopped it out in the middle of the show, and I flipped. That was first time I flipped it. Actually, no. It was at Slamology. That first time I ever flipped it. So from my knowledge, I was the second person to ever flip a truck on air.
And who was the first? We
Daddy's,
talked about
I
this in
believe.
the
Yeah, it was Daddy.
Daddy's
Yeah.
Customs.
right in front of our booth.
Right in front of
Or not
our
booth.
camp
Yeah.
at Rezo.
Yeah,
And tunk, right on. Yeah.
Is that when Mikey threw his bumper in the
That
frame?
was, yes.
So
it
who was
Same
first to who was first? You were the first.
Daddy's was first. No,
Daddy's, the one that
I
we were
was
just
the-
talking
yeah.
about right now.
Okay, that
Yeah.
one was
Yeah.
the first one
Yep,
to
and
get
then-
all four off the ground, huh?
Yep. I mean, I did all kinds of shit. Like I thought that was like
Hey,
I don't know this for a fact, but I believe that I'm the first person to use helium
oh really?
on that. It was the local guy where our welding supply place. I would go in and get nitrogen from him, and he would always kind of shoot the shit with me about how things are going with the truck. And I'm like, man, the nitrogen sucks because it freezes my valves. So 30 seconds into a hop, like shit's sticking. I can't really do anything. And he was like, do helium. He's like, molecules are smaller, it flows faster, and it's not going to freeze your valves. So helium was 3 times the cost. It was way more expensive, but same PSI, I would get 2 feet higher on the helium versus nitrogen.
Wow.
So it was crazy. And then after that, everybody started using it. I can't say I was the first, but I feel like I was.
Probably
Nobody.
one of the first.
Yeah. So it was super cool. I love doing it. I would love to build another one.
That's cool.
But it kind of died out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're talking about like just like different periods and stuff. Like it all went through phases.
Yeah.
Like the huge valves with
Yeah,
1-inch
yeah,
line.
1-inch line.
How high could you hop
Yep.
it, or how fast could it move? And then there was that weird like time when everybody was doing like center links and have the back end like locked up
Yeah,
super
yeah.
freaking high.
Oh, yeah, there was also telescoping
2
four
feet.
links.
Yeah.
Telescoping four links.
Yeah, yeah.
It all goes through its phases. Now, like I put 1/4-inch line on everything.
Yeah.
So I want it.
Yeah.
I want it slow and
Yeah.
like nice
Yeah.
and just ride good.
Which
Well,
is
Yeah, if you look at like the telescoping four links and the stuff there was absolutely no reason for
No.
it.
No,
It
it's all just looks.
Yeah.
know.
Well, if one person did it, I could get it higher than that.
Yeah.
I can get it higher than that. Yeah.
And it's funny that you say about the 1/4-inch line too, because my first bag truck was an S10, and it had like ball valves for the back, but it
Yeah.
had those like old school paddle valves for the front with a little gauge in it.
Oh yeah.
And that's when everybody started going the faster air, like 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch,
Right.
1
It
inch.
started out because everyone, like you said, was using paddle valves and then ball valves.
Yeah.
And then the first electric valves were, I forgot what they were, but
Parkers.
then there was something because they were like you could get them on Granger or something like
Yeah.
that. They were used for other applications. Then people used it for air, and then of course, I want to go faster, bigger, faster, bigger, faster. And
Yeah.
then people
Yeah.
were actually building them purposely for air.
Yeah.
Right.
Like GC, right? GC.
GC valves.
Yeah.
Yeah. They gave me God, I don't even know how many valves. The guy
Yeah.
was just like sending me boxes of them and shit. And here, try these out or whatever. And then I got some bags from Slam, and then I didn't want them because I couldn't modify them because it only had the dual ports on it. So I ended up getting bags from Airlift and then actually machining 4 ports in it. So it was the bags that would crimp on the ends. So what they would do, they would send me the aluminum plates. I would modify it how I wanted it, send it back to them. They would crimp the bags for me
yeah.
and
Oh,
then send it back
crazy.
to me.
That's
So
cool.
we did it like, 8, 10, 12 at a time because I'd blow them quite a bit, learning, limiting them, pressure, all that good stuff. So, but yeah, I had 4 1-inch lines fill valves per bag and 2 dumps per bag.
Shit. Dumbass.
I remember my first.
So
day.
it was
that
6 valves per bag basically.
That's crazy.
It was insane. Like thinking about it now, like I had all these ideas that I wanted to do on the truck. I wanted to do like an air over hydraulic setup and try to see how that.
Yeah.
But never got around to it.
Don't mind that.
better than falling out.
I'm just in a puddle of water right here.
Frank's way.
I just derailed. Like Tony's telling this fascinating story about all this stuff. And I just dumped water and derailed the whole thing. Anyway, bags.
Yeah. Anyway,
so then where did it go from there? You were just like, okay, I'm sick of breaking stuff. I want to build something nice.
yeah. So it literally went from the Air Dancer to my buddy Rob's Blazer. So it was cover mini truck in 2007, 2008, something like that.
Yeah.
Red and silver two-tone. First Blazer on 24s, bodied, stock hood. We did lower the motor, all that good stuff. So that was my first like venture into like real nice stuff, and then I never looked back after that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
now
just-
you fancy, huh?
yeah. Well, I mean, I try to be. Tiff made me fancy.
Yeah.
Kind of succeeding, if you ask me. I love those
she's
trucks.
bougie, so it turns me into it, I guess.
Yeah. Tiffany's hood is
And then
incredible.
you open up your shop, and then the
Yeah.
rest is kind of just history.
Yeah, I went through some life-changing phases in between there. Different story, different time.
Yeah.
But just kind of 2015, I decided to like really get back at it, and I built a dually, bagged it, and then it just kind of snowballed from there, and just kind of, went its way.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I love it, man. It's literally what I do all day, every day, and just constantly thinking about new shit to build, and all
That's
the things.
awesome. What was your favorite truck?
I don't have one. I guess you could say my Mazda. You talking about
The
my
current
personal?
model? Yeah, your personal.
Yeah,
ones.
my personal. It'd probably be the Mazda because I'm going to keep it forever. But
The one you currently have.
Yeah.
And why are you going to keep that one forever versus anything else? What's special about that one? And if people don't know, because we're not going to put any pictures
Yeah,
or
this
anything on this,
episode's gonna have
you're going to have to go
zero
look at Tony's
This is called the
Instagram, which
Raw
is
Dog,
creative.
yeah.
Creative Custom Works.
Yep.
With a K.
On Instagram. Yeah, K. Creative with a K. Custom with a K. WORX.
Yeah. And you have to look at his blue Mazda. So
It's baby blue Mazda with graphics on it. There's no like real reason other than the fact that I'm way over in money.
Yeah.
So I would never
I
ever
see.
Yeah.
get
called being
back
upside down,
Yeah. So it's like,
So it's
why
just
get rid of it?
You don't want to be disappointed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I buy and sell a lot of shit. So I always look at it from a money standpoint.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't do that in the mini truck world because we never win in the mini truck
Yeah.
world.
Oh yeah.
But doing full size stuff, you can make money off of it. But with the Mazda, it's just a truck that I really like it, and I've put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it. So I'll probably just never get rid of it. If it was up to me, I'd never get rid of anything. Tiff is always the one that's like,
Your CFO?
yeah, I would be. Yeah, she's my CFO. I would just keep everything. I would just hoard everything, and then that's how it would be. But
Well, now she has 2 trucks, so maybe now she's the hoarder.
she technically has all of them.
Oh, okay.
They're all her
They're all
trucks.
her trucks. Okay.
Technically.
Oh, okay. All right. I see how it goes.
But so the Mazda started out as hers. When me and her first got together, we got the truck because she wanted a Mini, and I was like, okay, let's get this Mazda. And then we are vastly different when it comes to styling. She's very simple and modern, and I want things a certain way. I'm an old school mini trucker, so I want the graphics. I want the crazy wheels, big wheels, laid out, body, whatever, all the things. And we're polar opposites when it comes to styling on trucks. You can clearly see it in the builds that she has versus mine.
Which is cool because they're completely different.
Yeah.
And
So in the Mazda, I was like, I want to do graphics. She's like, I don't want to do graphics. I'm like, well, we're fucking doing graphics. So this is now my truck. And then interior wise, it was everything that I wanted. In her trucks, it's everything she wanted. She's got a very good eye for style, and so that's what she likes to do, and I just execute what she wants. So
Were you guys surprised
Called
how?
being married.
yeah.
Were you guys surprised how? Because me and you have talked about this. How the Mazda didn't ever really get its attention time because you slow rolled it.
Yeah, it was a process for years, right? It was always phases.
Yeah.
So it's like when I originally bought the truck, it was that color blue, and it was just a shitty paint job. Well, I had it repainted the exact same color, but really nice.
Yeah.
Right. So it wasn't any different, And then got the wheels, and then decided to do the graphics, and then did the interior. So it was all phases. So it never like made a big splash. It was always just kind of real slow process.
And then Tiffany's was the opposite.
Yeah.
So
both of them really, on the full size and the Toyota.
Yeah, but the Mini in our scene, the Mini's going to get way more attention than the full size.
Absolutely.
So the Mini, when you brought it to Forbidden, did you think it was going to be that? Because
I had a feeling. I had a feeling it would. Just because what me and you had talked about. I wanted to put it out there publicly, the build process, the whole thing, and she was like, "No, I don't want any of it out there." She's a very, very private person, so she was like, "I don't want any of it out there." She doesn't want anybody to know like what we're doing, whatever. And I was like, "Okay, me and you had that conversation several times." I'm just like, I guess we're just going to go with it, and see how it used to be like that. Builds used to be a surprise, and then boom, show up one day.
It's pre-internet.
Exactly, pre-internet. So I think it kind of like took off because people were like, "Where the hell did this truck come from?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Whose truck is this? Those people at the show that I'm literally talking to face to face, and they're like, "Man, did you see that Toyota?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, that's yours?" I'm like, "Well, it's my wife's," but so it was cool because it kind of came out of nowhere.
Oh, it was really cool.
I like that feeling behind, like people were like super surprised and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think that more people should do that.
I agree.
And obviously,
after that now, yeah.
But I think people their builds take quite a long time, so they get antsy and they're just like, whatever. I just want to show everybody. You know what I mean? But if you can if you have an end game plan, like you had an end game plan,
it was a fucking process, man. But it worked out really, really well.
So if people have an end game plan, do that. Try not to put anything on there because it does feel cool to, like me, I'm doing it the complete opposite, but obviously for content reasons.
Yeah.
I would say, but you tried to do it the other way until somebody else put a video of your truck rolling down the Rider.
No.
Well, like
I was gonna say it was all.
Well, no, like a little bit. Like you were like
when it was actually driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, like just from video to video, it was a surprise. Like the wheels, like we stopped ourselves from talking about the wheels until the video.
Yeah, and I never told you anything about it.
Never
Yeah,
told me
because Frank
anything
has a big mouth. He just,
I know. I'm just gonna tell everybody.
No, I like
he'll
that.
post a story about it.
Yes, that is true. Yes.
Yeah, I like.
I will put on Instagram
to surprise in sections. But like, if I was to build my truck from scratch or a truck, and I would actually. That gives me a good idea.
That he's not going to tell anybody.
Don't tell nobody.
Post pod.
Yeah, if I bought a truck, built the truck, brought the truck out, and then released the videos.
Oh yeah.
Showed the truck and then released the videos in reverse.
Oh, there you
not
go.
reverse, but like
That's
from
a good
the start.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
The only person that knew about your wheels is your shout out to your Perfect Poise pit crew.
They didn't know about it.
I know. I'm just joking.
They were like, "What the hell's going on?"
Yeah.
No, it was and I think like to what you said, Brian, as far as a build takes a long time. Not every build, but most nice builds take a while.
Yeah.
And so people get antsy and want to just get it out there. With the Toyota, it was a quick build.
Yeah.
From the day we got it until the day we debuted it, it was just over a year.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So that helped in the sense that it was a quick turnaround. But most, like her full size was over 3 years. My Mazda was like a process over a year. So you really couldn't do that with trucks like that. But I mean,
you can if you
it
have
costs a lot of
patience, but
money
it's
to
hard.
do a truck that quick. So it's not something I would be like, oh yeah, do that. But the attention that we got from it is nice.
Yeah.
So.
And it made the cover of Custom Trucks Magazine.
Custom truck. Yeah, Shingo shot it.
Yeah. He showed me that a while ago.
Yeah.
And he's like,
where did he do that at?
In Laughlin, in the parking lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It turned out great. So like it was crazy because he had the gas station, behind him.
Yep.
And me and Tiff were talking. I was like, I don't know if I want. Hopefully, he edits that out. And he sent us some of the proofs after, and we really liked it. The background, it was just like, it's a Japanese magazine, but it was pure American behind
Yes.
it, right?
Yeah,
low cost cigarettes and shit like that.
Yeah.
So
Fireworks.
it was really nice. He did a great job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shingo does a good job at like curating and designing, not necessarily like photoshopping really, but like the way the colors the contrasting colors in the text,
Yeah.
and just everything. He's
I'm
really
excited
good.
to see the magazine. Like I didn't know it was going to be cover.
Yeah.
She didn't know it was going to be cover. And he sends me the proofs of it, and up in the corner it said cover truck.
Yeah.
And I was like, hang on a second. I was like, is it going to be cover? And
I know, I
he
wonder
was
if
like,
it-
I don't know. I was like, whoa.
When I saw the proofs too, because he told me, he goes, the Toyota's going on cover, and I was
Yeah.
like, sick. They're going to be
That's
stoked.
dope.
Yeah.
Then he sent me the proofs, and then you had showed me too, and I was like, I wonder if Tony saw that it says cover truck.
I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He's all I noticed.
I didn't. She noticed
Oh.
because that's what she's very attention to detail.
Yeah.
And I was like, messaged him, and he was like, yeah, I don't know, man. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. Either way, we don't care. And
Yeah.
she's like over the moon with it because she's
Yeah.
very deep into like the Japanese or Asian art and stuff like that. So she gave two shits like if Mini Truck shot it, right? And I was like, I want a Mini Truck cover, And she's like, no, I want his. So it worked out great.
Her
Yeah.
ear-to-ear smile today when
Oh,
she
yeah.
drove from your guys' Airbnb to
Yeah.
the show. Even though she said there was like a couple little problems.
Yeah, there's
Like
a little things we
her
gotta work out.
ear-to-ear
Oh,
smile.
yeah.
She's like,
First time.
First time I drove it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We got it back from Forbidden. There was some things we had to knock out because it wasn't 100%. It's still not 100%, but we hadn't even drove it. So like, I drove it to the gas station, put gas in it, and then her first time driving it was into the show.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. Well, she drove around the parking lot at Laughlin. So
Yeah.
but yeah, it's by far probably one of my favorite builds.
It
And,
got, even my mom was like, whose white truck was that? That was my favorite truck there.
oh really?
So like just
That's awesome.
yeah, just all kinds of different people were talking
Yeah.
about it. So
It's my favorite year.
So
my first body truck that I ever saw was Glenn's, and it was a 80. It was 86. Right? It was an 86.
Hey, it's Jeff.
Extra cab. Hey,
Oh, hey guys. Me and Frank talked about this yesterday. That's one of my least favorite body style trucks.
Oh yeah,
I
we were ranking.
I am a Mazda guy through and through.
Yeah.
That's my favorite body style. Second would be a Tacoma, first gen Tacoma. That body style, the what is it, 84 to 88.
yep.
It's not my favorite.
That's
So,
funny.
and-
And you go out and build one of the baddest ones.
Yeah. It was, and it was all for her. That's what she wanted. So
Yeah.
it's like, hey, I tried to talk her out of it, and she was like, "Nope, that's the truck I want."
Yeah,
So,
well, hey, like you said, she has an eye for killer taste.
Yeah.
And it all came together. And was she the one who picked out most of the colors? On
oh,
the
it's
truck?
all 100% her design.
That's cool.
So the only thing I say I'm in charge of like suspension, right? Because that's what I do. So this is what I'm gonna, do on the truck. I completely changed every aspect of the suspension. So it turned out good.
So and you already bought the truck, already bagged and bodied,
Yeah.
right?
So it was a previous built truck, actually done really well. It was just very outdated. It was built in I want to say 2005.
Wow.
It was very similar to the giveaway truck that Forbidden
We
did.
thought it was that truck
That's
for
what I
a
was gonna
little
say,
while.
too.
We were like,
It was very similar to same color. It had the hood was open, for
Really?
the motor.
cut out.
well,
Yeah.
cut
the
out,
thing
yeah.
is that when you body drop those trucks, it's a turbo truck.
Yeah,
so
it's
it
a
was
factory
the giveaway
turbo
one.
truck. Yep.
The hole in the hood is exactly the same because that's exactly the amount you have to cut out
Right,
for
yeah.
that truck. So I
It's
was
the
like,
minimum
oh,
you have to cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
The interior, so the guy who originally built it, his family owned a body shop, so they blew it completely apart, 100%. The burnt orange color that it was throughout the entire cab. So they blew out the whole interior, painted the entire inside of the cab. So even Alan, who did the paint on it at AK Airbrushing, he said that they did a great job. Basically painting the truck before. He didn't have to do a lot of going back through and redoing things. So that helped out cost wise on the paint for sure.
Yeah.
The interior was completely thrashed. It was just Mexican blanket, torn up carpet. Like there was sections of the carpet that were missing.
Yeah.
We was missing tons and tons of important interior trim pieces. It's an SR5 truck, so if anybody knows, those pieces are very, very hard to find in good shape. We ended up getting a donor truck, getting a lot of the pieces out of it that we needed, and kind of found a guy that made some 3D printed pieces for it. So it turned out really well. I'm really, really excited about the interior.
What'd you get?
One of my
What's up,
favorite
Tuna?
parts.
You got ice cream?
Brian's pissed because you have ice cream.
And it is so good.
For those that are listening, Jeff and Tuna just walked in.
Yeah. There are other housemates for this week.
And Tuna has ice cream. Where'd you get ice cream this time of night?
Right next to the pizza.
Pizza?
The pizza place?
The piece of what, bro?
When the fuck we get ice cream?
Yeah.
That was like one of the main things that we were supposed to do this week was get ice cream.
I got it.
Oh, you did?
In
Oh, that's
Pigeon
right.
Forge.
You got a Pigeon
Yeah,
Forge,
we
that's
got
right.
Pigeon Forge.
Yeah, but it still wasn't
good,
it was
too.
really good. It was just Bluebell. But I was like, man,
It's not just Bluebell. That's
Bluebell's not
that's
that
top notch,
great.
dude.
It's not that
Hey.
great.
Oh,
I,
no,
I grew
Lindsay's
up.
here.
I grew up in Texas, so Bluebell.
I know
you
Bluebell's not. Yeah.
There's a what?
Somebody's truck just burned down.
It's burned down?
Is that why you guys walked back? No.
Yeah, some dude's mini truck. What an idiot!
But I got ice cream.
Yeah, but I could have.
No way. Where was that at?
I don't know. Someone said pass the drag.
Whoops.
You remember a few years ago, Brian?
The
There was like
S10.
5
Call
fires.
Tiffany. Is she okay?
Yeah,
She's out dragging the
She's
Toyota.
sleeping. She's
Hey,
fine.
look at that.
On fire.
On
Yeah.
fire.
That S10
Reporting live from the Airbnb.
pulled into the Mexican place right there. Where,
Yeah. And then there was one in the middle of the road.
Yep.
That year, I think there was like 4 or 5 fires on trucks
Yeah.
dragging.
Wow. Wouldn't be Mininats without a truck burning down.
Yeah,
Apparently.
sometimes there's just casualties.
Are you showing? Oh, there we go. See, we don't have to add any footage. Lindsay's just showing the camera the footage. So if you're listening to this episode and you want to see a truck burn down, come over to the YouTube, and Lindsay's holding her phone in front of the camera.
It looked like
Live.
it pulled off to the side, huh? They got to the side, now it's burning a house down.
Oh my gosh.
They pulled in
It
somebody's
burns down
driveway.
the-
It's the Switch giveaway truck.
Burn. Oh.
They very adamantly said that they did not build the suspension on that truck.
I'm going to win that truck tomorrow.
Everyone
gonna
here.
win
I don't know what
that
you're
truck.
talking about. They sold the ticket to me, so I don't know why
Oh, did they?
anyone
Did
else
you buy
bought a
tickets?
ticket.
One pack of tickets.
If
So
you
bought
did,
5.
yeah.
No,
I
he
bought
spent all
5.
his money on ice cream.
No, I bought $100
You
or
bought
whatever
$100.
whatever that equals.
So
That makes
you-
me
4
happier
posters.
that I bought
So you had
one
20
poster
tickets.
and I'm about
Yeah.
to win.
I have 5. How many posters did you buy?
one.
5.
One now, and I'm buying one tomorrow,
10.
so I spread it out.
Jeff, 5? 5, and then Tuna has 15.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the guy whose truck burned down
You
buys
and Lindsay
the
has 10.
poster
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah.
Actually-
If I win the truck, I will make him a great deal on a Toyota.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Actually, technically, I bought 10
Alan.
because Alan, aka Airbrushing
Yeah.
Alan, asked me. He's like, "Hey man, can you please buy me some tickets?" So like on the way out here, I was like, "Okay, how do I go about doing this?" I said, "I want to be the most fair I could be." So I went up and I bought two posters, 10 tickets. And then I took those tickets over to Brian, and I said, I need you to like mix these up or something so I can randomly pick them. So he did. He put them behind his back, mixed them around. I picked it, and I took it. I wrote my name on one. I wrote Alan's on the other, took pictures. So
Yeah.
it's very, very fair
It's on the up and
It's
up.
fine.
until Alan wins. And then I'm
So here's
that-
the
Alan,
you know how
Alan,
nice soft
if you're
thing, a
listening,
whiteout.
Alan, and
Yeah.
Frank, if you're listening, Alan, and Frank wins, it was definitely your ticket.
it was definitely Alan's tickets.
So here's the big question, the big burning question,
Oh boy.
pun
Ooh.
intended,
Pun.
is I had people come up to the booth and they're like, yeah, if I win that, I'm just going to donate it back into the the auction.
I'm happy you have the money to do that. That bad boy's coming home with me. I love the children. Here's a 10 spot.
I'm not donating shit.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. I'm not donating anything.
Tony's not even donating smiles.
Jeff?
I
Did you
like
donate
money.
Are you donating the truck? Okay. Lindsay?
Hail to the no, no, no.
Use that money to get a Ranger.
All right. Tuna, would you donate it or take it home?
I'll take it home.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so
Yeah.
hold on. Wait, they don't have microphones, so we have to.
That's
No,
fine.
no one
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
that. So Jeff, take it home. Lindsay, sell it or take the cash prize
Is
and
there
buy.
a cash prize?
Yeah, yeah.
There's a
Think
cash
about
prize.
that.
Yeah, he said there was a cash prize.
Take the cash prize, buy a Ranger, and then Tuna take the truck. I'm taking the truck. Tony.
Oh, it 100% not coming home with me. It's getting sold at the show. I'm not. I'm not
sell
even
it
going to
back
drive
to
it.
Seth, yeah.
I'm not even going to drive it. It'll sit there at Seth's booth, and I'll just sell it right there.
Yeah, there you
I don't
go.
even need keys.
I will be taking it directly to Panda to exchange for a deposit.
On your body.
Oh, that's a
getting
great idea, Joey.
This much lower.
Panda?
Wait, what was it earlier, Brian? $1,000 an inch.
Yeah.
We'll get you an
The
inch,
old
buddy.
school.
Yeah, so I'll get about a
way.
half an inch.
Panda will 100%
That's what it was
take it.
back in the day.
It's
no?
$1,000 an inch.
Yeah.
That's how they did it. I'm going to, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to auction it off myself and keep half of the proceeds because you know that truck would go for a gang of money.
You think so?
I think so.
Like
I think,
What's a gang of
Auction-wise?
money to you? What's the
like
number?
that auction raises like 50 grand.
Over the
that.
course of everything,
Oh,
right?
you-
now?
Yeah,
Talking
but I
about
think
that
that
auction.
if people like wanted,
So you would get more than $5,000 for it at auction, probably. You're right.
I
Is
think
that what
so.
the cash prize is? $5,000?
Yeah, that's what Seth said earlier.
$5,000?
Something like that. Yeah.
I would take the truck then, never mind, and just sell it. I would take the truck and bring it home and sell it.
You
Yeah.
think that truck's worth more than $5,000?
What would you
Yeah.
cost on that
Probably
truck
eight.
right now if
Eight.
somebody
Probably
was
eight.
On a high side, it just depends on the person. I mean, probably just because of what it is, somebody probably give more money for it.
One, it's a Toyota. Two,
yeah.
it's got a nice paint job on it.
Yeah.
It just
looks
needs.
good.
It's just
Got
rough.
Alba
It's
Banks.
just rough around the edges.
Yeah.
It needs it.
Thanks. Nobody else
What
like,
is
said
it?
it.
If somebody
It's got
else
Alba Banks.
wins it and they need it fixed and they're in the Midwest, they can always bring it to me.
Yeah,
And
you
then
could
I'll-
there
you
you
could
go.
make
Yeah.
refine all
Yeah.
this stuff and yeah.
I'm slow, so keep that in mind. All my
Maybe
friends
next
listening, they'll know.
Mininats.
Yeah.
Maybe
They
next Mininats.
they
Unless
screw
it's
with me all the time.
Tiffany's truck.
Yeah. I have to do that. She's my wife. I have to do that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So you're capable of doing it quickly. You just don't want to do it.
Yeah, I'm very. I'm very.
Lazy.
No, yeah, that too.
Tony's over here like happy wipe, happy shut up, stop
Yeah,
talking,
yeah.
and get to
Well,
work on my
were we
truck.
talking to Daniel about painters being professional procrastinators?
Procrastinate and alcoholics too. Yeah. most painters I know are alcoholics, except Alan. Is Alan an alcoholic? He's
I
not
don't think
I
so.
don't think Alan is. an
Alan's the
alcoholic.
best painter I've ever been a part of. Like the whole process with him. The whole process with him, I was very, very like skeptical about because
Yeah.
number one, I didn't know Alan real well. I just knew him from Brian and Frank. But the whole process was awesome. You know
And
what I
then-
mean? The guy was upfront with everything. He did an amazing job.
Yeah.
It was done when it was supposed to be done.
Yeah.
So, if anybody needs work done, go to Alan, aka
And that was like a thing that you went through too, because you were talking to a lot of some people, and they were like, "You're taking your truck all the way out to California."
Oh
to
yeah,
get it
people
painted."
thought I was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, that's cool. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
It's an adventure for sure.
I'm that old school mini truck guy. So like looking at mini truck magazines when I was young and seeing all the shit in California, I'm just like, I want something done out there, right? And it all worked out. Like
There's cold waters in the fridge, Tuna, if you want a cold one.
Yeah,
like
quieter. What
we planned on debuting the truck in Forbidden at the Forbidden show, so it made sense to have it painted out there than just bring it right to
Yeah,
the show.
yeah, it
So
worked
either
out
way,
really well.
we're coming out here.
And the funny thing is, for the 30 year,
Yeah.
Tony flew out to my house, and then we drove to Allen's.
Yeah.
And picked up
and
my
drove-
Tacoma, and then drove it up there. So
That's when I first met Alan, and
Yeah.
I decided immediately. I'm like, he's gonna paint my truck.
yeah,
Yeah, he's
Or,
a
well,
good guy.
paint Tiff's truck.
I like Alan. Alan's a lot.
Yeah,
of
he's a
fun.
good dude.
yeah. We're gonna get him in the club.
Yeah.
Well, he told
doesn't
me he
know
was
it yet, but
basically
yeah.
in the club.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So, because I asked him, I straight up asked him, like, why aren't you in Forbidden?
Yeah.
He's like, I pretty much am. You know?
Well, like at the show, when everybody was like lining up the trucks kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, I made it a point that he was right there, and like all the trucks were lined up, and his truck was there too. And I said, "Yeah, I'm glad we got all the Forbidden members lined up."
That's awesome.
Yeah, we've been rusing him for a little bit.
Yeah.
So we
He's
got
a great guy.
I think he'd make a great member.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll get Frank and Eric to kind of
So who's
facilitate
who
that.
who runs that chapter,
Robbie.
the SoCal?
Frank.
Okay.
And me, yeah, right.
Frank.
No, Robbie does a fantastic job of being the SoCal president.
Yeah, Robbie heads it up, but it's like
Robbie.
no, that's not true.
Robbie's the on the street boss.
Yeah.
And Brian's the prison boss.
The
So then, what
enforcer.
are you? Because you're the president of San Diego.
The other prison boss. No. I'm the underboss.
Glenn told me he was a president.
That's why. Listen, I'm trying to be quiet today, just so Glenn gets more mad at me. I didn't shut the hell up. I got so much flack. Even the guy that says, "Oh, your Uncle Joe, you should shut up and let Glenn talk."
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So I'm trying to be nice and calm and cool,
Poor
collective.
Glenn. I like Glenn way more than you, Joey. So
You should.
Yeah.
Glenn's way cooler than I am.
Glenn is awesome.
Yeah.
What do you
See how I
think,
got
Joey?
quiet afterwards?
and then we're
Yeah.
like,
Glenn is awesome.
What do you think, Joey? What do you think of everything so far?
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is your first time out here, right?
This is my first time out
That's awesome.
here, and the closest I have that's even in comparison whatsoever was when we went
Greenville.
to Greenville to Showfest, and I was joking around with Mike Alexander, and he was like, "You need to sign this NDA. You're not allowed to talk about any of this in front of the people that I'm working with." So I was like, "Okay."
oh yeah, because
And I still told stories. I don't care.
I heard you
Yeah.
over there. I was like, oh, he's telling the Oklahoma hotel story.
and the bite story from the first podcast that I did. Remember at that Jaeger, what's it called? Fuel? Was it Fuel? The name of
The
that bar?
Severed bar.
Yeah, that shit was wild. But I flew in on Wednesday night, and Brian picked me up. That was, and then came in. It was like, I love this Airbnb. It's like such a fun. This is like a community. Even
The atmosphere
outside
is
is the
crazy.
bag trucks, but the community of people inside here.
In this Airbnb,
in this Airbnb is absolutely sick. And then me and Brian are on wheels in the room.
We're not.
I know we're not going to see a video of us going in the room, but I'm sure
Actually,
it'll
have
make
a,
some
I have a video of you laying on your back last
No,
night.
let's not show
pumping
that
up
because
and
Lonnie
down.
was a little too excited when he watched. He pretends. I know you like it.
He doesn't listen to this.
Well,
No, Lonnie
I'll
does
make
not
him. I'll
listen.
send it to him specifically.
Yeah.
But the show today, I mean, it was wild, and I did walk around a little bit. I stood in line. I found my boys from Macrophobia Vegas, and
They let you
Bakersfield,
cut for the
and they
event
let
t-shirt?
me cut, and all these white people are like, look at these Mexicans.
Oh, it's crazy. Isn't it?
allowing more Mexicans into this line.
It's an hour-long line for the T-shirts. It's insane.
The first line I got in was way longer, and then
Yeah.
the second time I went, it was actually just a straight line. It wasn't like a here, there, and then I think some people got in line at Gatlinburg. Or
yeah,
whatever
and
it's called, to just to walk in. But so I was able to
There was
get
people
shirts.
lined
Not
up
for
this
Cheesy
morning.
though. Cheesy gets no shirt. I'm
shirt.
gonna keep both
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah, that people were lined up at that gate, and they were just like marched in single. Was it you that was like, why are they marching in single file? Or was that you, Lindsay? Where like people were marching in single file?
Yeah, like they went past where they got checked, and they all still just stayed like nobody.
Yeah, they just
branched
went
out to
straight
go-
like this way, and straight to the event T-shirts.
Yeah, well, so I had a vendor wristband from being with you guys in my. And
it's those
Tony
sheep,
went over.
it's those
and,
sheep, Brian. You know.
Well, Tony, you went over and got in line before they allowed spectators in, right? Or something?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I didn't know this, so I went over and like, oh, I'll go look. Yeah, at our show, you walk right up and buy a shirt. This show,
Yeah.
you're like, there's white people as far as the eye can see.
Yeah,
In
me
this.
and Tiff just walked over to the booth, and she's like, "Go ahead and get a shirt." There's nobody in line. I will look, and I'm like, "Oh yeah," got a shirt. Walked back over there, and then
You put it
15
on.
minutes later, yeah, I put it.
And he wore
I
it.
put it
Yeah, he wore it.
correctly on.
In case you're wondering from the last episodes, that
Yeah,
Tony.
that-
This is the
I'm,
Tony we're
I'm
talking
that
about.
guy. Yeah. If you buy a shirt at a fucking show, do not put it on. That
Wow,
is-
public
that is-
service announcement.
Yeah, PSA. Don't
Unless
do
you buy
that.
a shirt from the Drop Grinder.
Yeah, that's not
Custom Life.
that's not a show
Stay low.
shirt though. That's just a vendor shirt.
Or pretty
Don't
low.
go
Sorry.
buy a show shirt and put it on your body immediately. Don't do that.
You backed that up, right?
Like
Lindsay's
you know,
on
like
your
we
side.
had talked about
My
this.
name's
There's
Lindsay, and I approve this message.
There's little things that bother you that don't matter in life, right? That doesn't fucking matter, but it bothers me to no end. I don't know why. It doesn't. I don't know why.
He's so
That's so
angry.
funny.
Yeah, it just
There's
gets me.
I have a lot of those things.
Yeah.
Nothing. A lot of the things I think about or do should not bother me, but they do.
They do. Yeah, I'm the same way.
Immensely.
Yeah. And
like,
it's all.
why is
Everyone
that?
is different here too, because you're like, that doesn't even. It doesn't matter, and you're
That's
like,
how-
but it does to me.
Yeah, that's how Tiff is. She's like, why do you care?
That is a thing I'm like trying to look hot in.
Hold on, come here.
Yeah, come on, jump in. I'll tag out.
Talk about
Lindsay, you
memories.
said you were coming in.
Brian actually had today
Come on. You want
a
that
little
in?
kid
Yeah.
roll up, buy a shirt from Brian's booth. And Brian came back from around the booth and got a marker from Lindsay, signed it for this kid, and then his mom took a picture of him.
Now, the
and
kid
Brian.
asked- I didn't just
No, Brian
sign the
didn't do
t-shirt.
it
The
because
kid
that's
asked
what
me
he
to
did.
sign it.
The kid is like, I buy a shirt from you every year at this show. Can you please sign it for me? And do you mind taking a picture for me? And I'm like, this is awesome. This
So the
like,
first.
this kid's going mad
That's cool.
hard.
Yeah,
So the
I love
first time
it.
we came
That's
here,
great.
the first year, we're setting the booth up and stuff, and someone came up and was like, Frank, can we take a picture? And it's like, cool. And I'm just standing there looking, and then Frank, can I get an autograph? And I'm like, no one's asking me for an autograph.
What is
Frank,
going
it
on?
was, and I was just like the whole time, I'm like, how? And I was like, and then I realized, oh, because his face is on the videos all the time,
Yeah.
and mine's not. And it started as soon as I started putting my face on the video, it instantly changed. Remember that girl that cried that one time?
Yeah, that was interesting.
That was a little weird.
That's because
That's
you were
what we're-
making fun of her,
I
Brian.
was.
Not because of your face. Well, it could have been from your
It could have
face,
been either
just-
way, but yeah,
Frank was signing a baby's forehead today. He just
Yep.
got out of control from.
Shaking hands.
We're going to get you a bodyguard, Frank.
I know.
Yeah, that'd be
you're over
cool.
there shaking hands with nobody. We're all staring at
What's wrong
you. You're
with
just
Frank?
like,
He was kissing hands and shaking babies.
Kissing hands and shaking babies.
yeah, it is definitely.
Lindsay, I'm
weird.
glad you got my back on the shirt thing. I appreciate
But
that.
I will say this about the show is that having the Forbidden Show just happened recently, and then those are trucks that you see not all the time because you do see a few come out, but it is just a a whole different crop out here of trucks that I haven't seen. I mean, ever.
I feel the same
good
way when
amount
I
of
go
them I
out
haven't
there.
seen. You do.
It's hard. You know, when I help judge the Forbidden Show, it's hard because I tell everybody, I'm like, oh, that truck's badass, and they're all like, man, that's fucking been around for years. And I'm like, not for me. I've only this is the first time I've seen it. You know, so like. It's the same way for you guys here that it is for me when I go out there. It's trucks that you've seen online, but you've never seen in person, and so it gives you a different emotion feeling. You know, with those guys, with Jeff and Tuna, they're the same way. You know, I'm sure you guys saw a bunch of trucks that you've never seen.
It's a whole new world of just awesome. Like it is wild. I was like, oh shit, that's what a red truck laid all the way out looks like. That's wild. Holy moly! I think I might have to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna tap out. I'm gonna have Jeff come
You're
over.
gonna tap out.
Well, no, I'm not done. I'll be back.
Yeah.
We only have 4 mics. I'm going to let Jeff come over here and talk about his truck because what Jeff to explain, because this is Jeff's first time out here checking everything out. I want to see his opinion on like the different styles out here, all the East Coast trucks. Bring his West Coast truck out here, the way he built it, the way his style is compared to the trucks out here. So this is Jeff, Perfect Poise.
Yeah, it should be one.
Hey, you should be. Let me sit over there. Daddy's been
I'm
on
trying to
this
get out of here. This is
I know. Frank is trying to ditch right now. I was
Frank's
like,
gotta take a shit.
I'm going. Yeah, you got to go to poop.
No, I don't. I just didn't want to.
He just texted me and said, I got a shit bad. Help me.
Okay. I just didn't want to be rude and knock out.
No,
okay. All right, fine. I'm staying here. We'll change the other 2.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this, you should go watch it because it's chaos.
It is absolute chaos.
I like the box of chips in the background.
Is it in the shot? Is it in the shot?
Yeah. It's fine.
Oh yeah.
There's a whole empty water bottle here.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's good.
It's fine.
It's good.
All right, so you got to lean in and talk into the mic.
Here we have.
I'm here.
This is Jeff Steiner, Perfect Poise, Arizona, and this is his first time coming out here. He brought out his Frontier with a Pathfinder front end.
It's a Frontier front end.
Explain your truck.
It's a 2000 Nissan Frontier with a 2007 Nissan Frontier front end that we kind of chopped up and messed up to make it all fit together.
And if you want to see this truck, you have to go on your Instagram.
Yes. What's your Instagram?
Oh wait, no wait. Here we go. Lindsay's about to hook it up.
Oh,
No, she's not. No, she's not.
she's doing her own thing. The truck's Instagram is Project Joan Rivers. My personal is P Poised.
Oh, you got your own truck Instagram?
My truck has its own Instagram. It's famous.
That's
You guys
a
should
great
start
idea.
Instagram
I
for
should
your
do that,
trucks.
yeah.
Yeah, because you don't really go on Instagram too much, like personally. But if you made
Yeah,
one
I don't
for your
have a
truck, you could be
personal
like, I need to update the Mazda's Instagram
Yeah.
today. I need to
Yeah.
upgrade
Good
this
idea.
one." Yeah.
It's
I got
it's
too
just an
many
easy way for me to like
things to do.
keep things kind of separate. Like
Yeah.
my personals, obviously, just like my adventures and my fun stuff. I don't really need to keep it separate. It's not a business or anything stupid
Right.
like that, but it's just nice to have like a place, like a repository almost of just my truck pictures.
Yeah.
That way, it's my personal is not just my truck.
That makes a lot of sense. That way, for this exact scenario, you don't have to go to your personal page and then dig through your photos to get to your truck. It's like, here's the
Yeah.
truck. Here's
Yeah.
what's going on with it.
just a random.
It's not even his truck.
Because I'm looking at it here, and it would be funny if
Toyota or
the phone
something.
slid over the camera, and it's just me going.
So why do you call it Project Joan Rivers?
Just because of it's been in multiple accidents because I'm an idiot,
Oh.
and so it's gotten a bunch of front end or like face swaps. Like, so
Oh, yeah. Makes
you know,
sense.
Joan Rivers got a whole
yeah.
bunch of surgery and stuff on her face all the time.
Yeah.
So
Is she even alive?
no,
I think she passed
she
away.
died a couple years
Yeah.
ago. Yeah,
And then
So it's a memorial truck then.
it is.
It's a-
Yes, absolutely.
it's a Joan Rivers. So your logo in your truck, you're in Perfect Poise, and it's Perfect Poise logo with like Joan Rivers with like
With like the surgery marks.
surgery marks. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
I
makes sense now. I saw it and I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
This is stupid.
It makes total sense. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I thought about that.
Tony is
Thought he was
brutally
just
honest.
some weird dude.
Why is this guy like Joan Rivers so much?
You
This is
got some
weird.
kind of weird fetish with
To be
dead
fair,
people?
I didn't know what it meant either until
Yeah.
the trip out here when someone asked him, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not
It
saying I
makes
didn't
perfect
know."
sense.
I mean, I didn't know, but I could put it together.
Yeah, it was not.
Yeah.
It was so
Nip
far out
tuck.
there.
Yeah,
you
the
know.
license plate nip tuck.
Told by me don't act
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
Lindsay
It
knows.
was
That
Lindsay.
was-
Yeah,
Lindsay's the
Lindsay,
realist. She knows.
Yeah,
I'm
she
learning
does.
right now, so it's
Yeah.
all great.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Yeah, I've seen your truck being built over the years and being put together, and it's sort of, well, because you were talking about maybe doing some more stuff to your truck, but it is a finished truck now.
Theoretically, yeah, it's starting to show signs of age from just being quote unquote done for a little while, like a bunch of cracks and chips in the paint and stuff, and just driver marks on it. Even though I don't really drive it, every time I do drive it, something gets fucked up on it. So
I love your truck.
thanks, man.
I'm a big fan of the Frontiers.
It's super
Thanks.
clean.
Yeah.
And so you got bag, body drop, all that good stuff, billet wheels, the front end swap.
LS swap.
Yeah.
LS
Well, I
swap.
was getting to that.
Sorry.
Calm
getting
down.
to that part.
Sorry. Maybe
Front end
I'm going to
swap.
Spoilers.
So is also the rear tailgate off of a newer Frontier as well?
Yeah, so the rear tailgate is off of a 2004 Frontier, and then we shaved the big giant handle that those things have. It looks like the Titan handle, where it's like that big plastic thing. So we shaved it, but when other people have shaved them before, but they don't follow through the line on the top. So there's 3 consistent lines on my tailgate instead of the 2 broken up ones with the tailgate handle on it.
And it is LS swap.
It is LS swapped,
Yeah.
yes.
How long has it been LS swap for?
As soon as I painted the truck, I tore it apart and put an LS in it.
So it had the stock
say-
motor in it before.
And why'd
Yeah.
you do that? Was there just not a lot of power
So
in there? or-
remember the COVID cruise that we did for the for Perfect Poise?
Yeah.
We went up the hill and I had the little 4-cylinder in it and I blew the head gasket going up the hill. So drove it back home. Didn't care if I blew it up even further. And as soon as I got it to Pop's shop, I just took everything apart and
cool.
went and sourced an LS and all the parts. And
And it's a 5.3 like a regular Suburban.
5.3 Texas Speed Cam.
Yeah, it's got some chop to
little
it.
goodies
Yeah,
here
it
and there.
sounds
It's
good.
got 4 mufflers on it because I was trying to quiet it down a
Oh,
little
tone
bit.
it down a little bit?
Yeah,
Oh,
I drove it
interesting.
to the Severed show in Phoenix the first time it was like running and driving, and it was just obnoxious loud. It was too much. But I also had those like little tiny 40 series stupid mufflers on it. But
It does sound good.
thanks.
So describing your truck. So now my question: you came out to the show. You're experiencing it because this is only the first day of the show. There's still a lot more to experience. What is your kind of take on East Coast versus West Coast type style?
You know, it's funny because I didn't have this thought in my head until I pulled up here tonight.
That
I
we're
was-
way better. East Coast is way better.
I was looking
Well.
at my wheels when I got out of my truck because I have my stupid little wheel lights on right now, and I have to go behind the wheel to like turn the light off. There's a little switch behind there, so I can it's all battery operated or whatever. And I was looking at my wheels and I was like, I just polished these today, and they already look like shit.
Yeah.
No, really.
Just because of the rain and the brake dust from cruising up and down. Like I always wondered why people's billets were so dirty when they actually drove their truck on billets, and I'm like, oh,
This
I get
is
it now.
why.
It's just how it is.
Yeah, there's like 5 miles, not even that, probably 3 miles worth of road time on her billets,
And they're just disgusting. Yeah.
I need them repolished already. Yeah.
See, that's why I don't ride billets, man.
Yeah,
Brian,
but
when-
you on the chromies too.
That's
you just
not.
don't see it.
Yeah, that's
you
not
know?
why you don't like.
I was
That's-
gonna say, that's not
every
why.
time someone says something negative about me, he's like, "That's
Yeah,
why I
that's
don't
why.
do billets."
That's it.
Come on, Frank.
Hey, but here's the difference. So if you got to clean your guys' wheels, you got to sit there. You got to take
You have
the
to polish it for 6 hours. You
Windex.
can't just wind it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's true.
it is
Boom.
true. Yeah.
Roll.
I just pay somebody to polish the billets on the Mazda. They're very intricate, and I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I don't want to polish your wheels
Yeah.
either.
What
Mine
kind-
have like fluting and stuff on it, so they're
Yeah.
not super
Yeah,
easy to clean,
yeah.
but they're just 6 spokes.
Dude, that's what I was gonna ask. Or what kind of what wheels are what company wheels are they?
Billet Specialties.
Okay.
And they're Talladega 2s.
Did you take existing wheels and then add those the
The
like
fluting?
Yeah.
No, they came like
Oh, they
that.
came like
Yeah.
that. Oh, okay. Yeah, because
They're a
I
great wheel.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen wheels like that.
Yeah.
They're one of my like top 5 favorite wheels.
Oh,
Super
right on.
cool.
Yeah.
And it took me forever to get a matching steering wheel for it. I could
Yeah.
never find one. And then I can't remember the guy's name. And
There was a
I
guy on this
apologize.
side of the country selling them. I can't remember the guy's
Yes.
name. He was selling a set of 6
He's the
looks
billet
forever.
guy. The billet. Oh no.
No, not
You're
Ben.
talking
Well,
about
you
the
can't tap on the
Yeah.
table.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
talking about Tony's been doing a lot, but
Yeah.
Have I?
yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna just go.
Tony's
like
also
this
been
the whole
cussing a
time.
lot too.
Yeah, I know. We might get demonetized. This is going on my channel. Thanks,
Oh,
guys.
geez.
I won't get demonetized. You just put cussing.
Yeah.
We cussed. We
put a
cussed a
warning on
little.
there.
Yeah.
I cuss a
YouTube,
lot.
relax.
I have a bad mouth. Sorry.
It's okay.
Is it Ben? Is that the guy's name with the
Ben
the-
Turpic?
No. The guy out out here that sells all the billets.
Ben Osborne.
Oh.
Ben Osborne.
Yeah.
He put together like an order from Billet Specialties to get like I think 5 or 6 of those steering wheels made, and I
Got one.
I scooped it up when I got the opportunity. So
That's cool.
yeah, they were the wheels came off of another Frontier from a guy in No Regrets in California.
Oh, really?
There was exactly the same truck as mine. It was a Champagne Frontier. It's now Jordan's in No Regrets.
Oh, it's the same. Oh,
the red
that
Frontier.
one. Oh.
That when it was Frankie's truck,
Okay, yeah.
he had my billets.
They are 6-lug too, right?
They are 6-lug. Yeah.
We should do a wheel swap tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Not permanently. I'm not getting rid of my wheels.
just to see. I'm down.
That's one of the cool things about my Mazda is like I kept the 6-lug billets. And like a lot of people are like, just 5-lug swap it. And I'm like,
I tried a
No.
5-lug swap, and most of it worked. I got a bunch of parts from Japan.
yeah.
We got
Overnighted?
yeah,
Overnighted.
overnighted, of course. Yeah. We got like the front hubs, and we got axles out of like a Nissan SEMA out there, like their taxis.
Yeah.
And it all kind of bolted on, but I could never get the rear to seal right, so it would always just leak and just be all terrible.
What is happening
I
back
don't
there?
know. I
Brian?
think batteries are dying on the.
The battery's about to die in the camera.
Oh my gosh. Is it still
Oh.
recording?
We have a
Oh,
Tuna
okay.
emergency over here.
What's the tuna emergency?
He's running.
He's got to poop.
Battery's just going low. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, keep rolling. Keep rolling.
Keep rolling.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, talking about your experience, like, what do you think about the show?
I think
Amazing,
it's insane. Like Tuna and I walked around for what 6 hours today, and we didn't see everything.
Yeah.
But we're also taking like
Yeah,
detailed
yeah,
pictures
you're
of
taking
everything
time.
and getting sunburns and all that fun stuff. But like you were saying with the styles of vehicles, we're seeing a lot of more like old school builds out here, more like 90s style.
Yeah,
you know,
that's definitely a thing
lot
for
of
sure.
the drip paint and the 3-spoke billets. I have like
Yeah.
30 pictures of 3-spoke billets on my phone, and it's super cool because like I grew up a little bit in Florida. My first 9 years of my life were in Florida, so me and my dad would go to shows out here in Florida,
Yeah.
and we would see these kind of trucks. I don't know if maybe they were the same trucks. Maybe it's possible there was at least 1 or 2 of the same trucks.
Right.
But I remember going to shows with him when I was like 8, 9 years old and seeing stuff like this. So it's cool to go from the West Coast seeing all the stuff kind of like my truck, where it's like super simple, super plain, very modern looking, to this radical cool stuff with all the crazy stereo is crazy out here.
Yeah, yes.
Everyone has like
this-
5
it's like
15s
it's you know you do want to do the other. You know, it's like
Yeah.
if you build a custom Mini out here, you put a stereo in it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it is what it is.
That and graphics.
Yeah,
Graphics are huge.
Can't go wrong.
Graphics are-
lean in a little bit, Tuna.
Graphics are huge out here.
Yeah,
coming
definitely.
Coming all the way. I'm gonna set you up to get your face.
And now Brian dipped out of here. I was
Brian's
trying to
dipping.
dip.
Yeah,
now
yeah.
Brian dipped.
Brian's dipping.
This is kind of my whole thing. Talk super close to that.
Okay.
Now Lindsay will slide in here, and then I'll leave. And then,
Yeah, and then it'll
it's,
be-
and then it's the
then it'll be
drop
completely
with Tuna.
off the rails.
Yeah, then it's the drop with Tuna, Jeff, Lindsay, and Tony.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's the biggest thing that I noticed out here is the graphics. It's
Yeah.
like graphics is such a prevalent thing out here, which I think is cool. I've said many times before that like I really didn't understand about graphics. You know, when I was younger and stuff, I knew that they existed. I saw them on vehicles, but I really didn't put much thought into them.
Yeah.
But now coming out here so much
Yeah.
and learning about graphics and stuff,
Yeah.
it's really
Well,
cool.
You guys started it. The West Coast started the
Yeah,
graphics.
yeah.
But I think there's a lot of East Coast guys that like kind of just ran with it. You know what I mean? Like some really, really good guys that have done graphics over the years, and just it's become like a natural thing out here. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to find just plain single color vehicles
Yeah.
out there. Like out of the 1,000 vehicles that are, I don't even know how many vehicles are
I
out
think
there.
it's 25. How many vehicles are here,
2,500?
Brian?
in the show,
The show's like 750.
yeah, it's like 7 something in the show.
Why did I say 2,500? That's
I
not
don't know.
true.
I mean,
That's a lot.
2,500
there's
is a
probably
lot.
that much in
Like,
you know,
the
here.
area.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in Maggie
okay.
Valley for the weekend. I guarantee you, there's probably that many.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was another really cool thing. Just Tuna and I walked back to the cabin to get my regular daily driver truck to have a place to put stuff that we buy throughout the day. And as we were walking back, it's like every single hotel that we passed, every restaurant, everything
Yeah.
that we passed had just a pocket of little bagged vehicles.
Yeah,
and
it's
a
cool.
full-size
That
truck over
aren't
here,
that
and
are
Bugs
here,
over-
but not in the
yeah,
show.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Parking
one of
lot
the few
pimping
shows
stuff.
that like I even can remember like a lot of people come to the show no matter if their truck's in the show.
Yeah.
They're just here. You
Yeah.
know, they just want to be here. So I went, you know, when Jason put the kind of the limit on it and was telling everybody, oh, we're gonna, kind of vet everything that comes in and pick good, nice stuff. I know there was a big uproar about it, but I think it's worked out great.
Have you been coming to Mininats for a very long time?
Well, so I used to come to Mininats when I was in Pigeon Forge, when it started in Pigeon Forge, and then there was a long gap, and then I started coming again. I think my first year back here was 2017. Don't tap the table. 2017, and then I've missed like 1 year in between that. But yeah, I come here every year.
Do you think? And oh, sorry, we'll get back to what you were talking about, but I just want to go on a little side thing right now. Do you think it's better here or better at Pigeon Forge, or do they offer different things?
So it was kind of different errors, from Pigeon Forge to here. I think it's better here now because I think the quality is crazy right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like back in the Pigeon Forge days when we would come, it was just a lot of hacked up stuff.
Where was it held at? Like what was the venue?
I don't remember where it was. It was several venues.
Oh, okay.
But I don't
like
remember.
the governer's mansion or something like that.
Something like that.
The upside down White House.
Yeah. It was at Alcatraz.
Yeah.
Alcatraz. I don't remember exactly where it was then. I just know it was in Pigeon Forge. But it was basically the same. Like the whole town would just be inundated with the mini trucks, and
That's cool.
It was a crazy time then too.
This is a different vibe now, like more of a vacation-y kind of vibe.
Yeah. And I was a lot younger and didn't pay attention to a lot of the things that I would now. So it was just kind of a different feel. But yeah, it was great then too. So
yeah.
We were talking to a couple while we were eating lunch today. Our really weird tacos that we had.
Oh, you guys had tacos here,
bro?
Yeah, but to me, they're
See,
good.
He liked
check it out. I think that's actually pretty dope because, like, come from California, best Mexican food on the planet. Arizona, best Mexican food on the planet. I would like to just check out it here and eat it ironically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, kind of like.
I mean, there's a
Get
lot of
this,
good.
I got steak tacos that were cold with pineapples.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
That's more of a like adobo, not adobo. Yeah, adobo.
Yeah, adobo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what's the word I'm looking for? No, not adobo. Adobo's Filipino food. Abondigas.
Abundance.
Yeah, no, that's wrong too.
Meatballs.
No, man. Oh my God.
I just
Never
like
mind.
tacos.
I like tacos too, and they weren't bad. They were.
That's the one.
Talking about on the spit, the autobot.
Yeah, on the trompo. Yeah.
Yeah, the trompo, that's it, but it's autobot.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
that was
I like
again.
Sure. Whatever.
Again, off the rails.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
always.
fine.
Excuse me.
I
Anyway.
know you can never get off the rails with tacos. Tacos
Well-
is like a staple.
That's true.
But like,
It
so.
should be.
my body, look at you could go off the rails.
Whoa. I'm lucky that's off camera.
Yeah.
So back to the couple that we talked to.
Yeah,
They had been coming to this show, the Mininats, for as long as they can remember. They said, and they were talking about it in Pigeon Forge, and they said that the big issue with it was the traffic, and that going down those drags that we were going on where the go-karts and stuff were.
Yeah.
They were waiting like 2 hours.
Oh yeah, it was
wow.
crazy. It was crazy in the Pigeon Forge days. Yeah.
Yeah.
It still is. Like they do rod runs in Pigeon Forge like to this day that are absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands of cars.
Yeah, we ran into one last year as we were leaving this show in Sevierville or whatever they
Yeah,
were.
Sevierville.
They were having a hot rod show, and the Buc-ee's that was right there that we
Yeah.
stopped at. It was just packed
Oh,
with people.
yeah.
It
Yeah, we
was so
heard about
packed.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that. Like in this area in the summertime, there's car show after car show after car show, rod runs, and like all Ford shows, all Chevy shows. Around here is like, automotive central. I
Yeah.
think so.
Well,
a
yeah,
lot of custom shops.
Talking to the locals and stuff like that, like in the little shops, and that's what they were saying. It's
Yeah.
just like there's always something going on.
Yep.
I talked to someone today that was interesting. I don't know who, and my brain, I don't know if anybody can tell my brain is slowly disintegrating right now. But I was talking to this person, and they were saying that like how a lot of like the hot rod and bike guys are kind of rude. And they like them when the mini truckers come to town because the mini truckers are like
'Cause
all
we're
very
nicer?
very polite.
Okay.
Take care of themselves. Don't leave a mess, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So and what's interesting is we with the Avi and stuff like that, we do stuff with the Avi, and we've heard little things like that as well. That when
Yeah.
the hot rod guys come in, they're like a little bit entitled and they would like
Really?
want extra things. So
That's
it's
a far
kinda
cry
interesting.
from our show fest days in Mississippi.
And that's the ironic part, right? That's the super
Yeah.
ironic part.
Well, I guess a lot of us guys are older, more
Yeah, everybody-
respectful.
yeah.
Right. So, still assholes, but respectful.
Well,
in
here's the
same-
wild thing. The
Look
show
at the
fest
hot rod
days.
guys, though.
What do you mean?
The hot rod guys are all older guys.
Yeah.
Well, I know. Yes, I see the point that you're trying to make. But what's wild is like you think about the show fest days or like the on our side of the country, the West Coast Nationals and the river runs.
Yeah.
Completely wild, out of control, all this stuff. And now collectively as a group, we're like, hey, let's go check out some waterfalls. Let's spend a day
Let's
cruising
go
through the
skip
mountains.
some rocks.
Yeah, let's get rocks.
Let's go wholesome mini trucker shit.
Yeah.
That's what we're about. The past couple of years, we've been about wholesome mini trucker shit. We did that last year, going up to Rolling in the Red Rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you go to Rolling in the Red
I
Rocks?
wanted
last year?
to. Apparently, I can't ever do that now
Oh,
Why?
What do you mean?
because didn't Brian said that show's not.
No, I know. No, I was
no,
saying
he'll-
you didn't
he'll be
go.
back.
You
I
didn't go.
didn't go,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. So it was
Oh,
like,
I planned on it, but didn't.
yeah. So we were up there on rocks.
Yeah.
Just looking
taking
out.
selfies
Yeah,
together.
taking selfies, hanging out on rocks, doing a little hiking.
Such a cool view.
Yeah, it was good. Tuna's climbing over everything.
Yeah.
Dude.
Parkour.
Mountain goat.
Oh my gosh, dude! We went on this like little, we went on a little cruise through the mountains, like checking out waterfalls and stuff. Get out the truck. This dude immediately beelines it, rocks, climbing up, jumping around. We have like videos and photos of us like doing selfies and stuff, and there's Tuna in the background, like doing parkour on rocks and stuff.
That's awesome.
It was wild. It was
Good
fun.
stuff.
But so and then you obviously brought your truck out here. Was this the farthest distance you've gone with taking your truck somewhere?
Yeah, in was it 2014 when we went to LST all together, Lindsay?
Yeah.
I think, yeah. So 2014, I drove the truck to LST, which was then
You drove it?
I drove
you
the
did?
truck
Oh,
to
wow.
LST, but it was primered back then. It wasn't as exciting. But it was a hike. It was a hike to get out there. This is definitely the furthest east
Yeah.
I've ever been with a vehicle of mine. I've been out here for shows and stuff with like Brett and Tanya and
Okay.
stuff,
Mhm.
but with my own vehicle, yeah, this is the farthest I've
Yeah.
ever been.
And towing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then like that was wild. We ran into that crazy snowstorm, which again, and we'll pick up in a later episode about our adventure coming out here,
Yeah.
getting stuck. Well, actually, you know what? Let's talk about that right now because since we're all here together.
Yeah.
So on the way out here, we were cruising through New Mexico. We left Phoenix. We met up with you guys on the freeway, and basically from like Flagstaff all the way into Texas, it was snowing.
Yep.
And so we're going along. We get to Albuquerque, and I notice a sign. I look up and I notice a sign that says I-40 closed ahead. Calculate alternate route or something like that. I say to Brian, I was like, "Hey man, this sign says that we might want to find another way around." So he gets on the GPS. He looks at it, and it's like, "Hey, you should probably go around. It's an extra 2-3 hours or something like that. You should go around."
Because of the snow?
No, because there was an accident.
Oh, okay.
Well, there was an accident because of the snow.
Yeah.
But there was an accident, and it ended up being like a 15-car pileup.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
And
with
it
like
shut
4
down the
or 5
freeway
semis and
both
stuff.
ways. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
semis and cars.
While we were sitting there, we saw 7 wrecked semis and 1 passenger vehicle.
when we
Yeah,
passed
he
the
was
wreck?
counting all the
wow.
wreckers that were going back the other way with the wrecked semis.
Oh wow, I didn't even
Yeah.
notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild. So we probably should have been like, "Hey, we should probably go the other way."
It's funny because when we were driving, my maps, the Siri or whatever, she was just yelling at me, being like, "You gotta turn, stop,
Really?
stop."
Yeah,
and I was
turn
like, "I'm
around,
just
turn
following
around."
Frank. I don't know." Frank's gotta know. He's done this trip before. He's gotta know what he's doing. And I was
I
like,
like how you said Frank.
"You were driving.
Frank
You were
is not
driving."
doing anything. Frank is not doing anything. Brian is saying, "Okay, this is what we're gonna do." And we took a gamble. We're like, "Hey, check it out," because this happened to us once before.
Yeah.
We were heading, I think.
And you
out-
didn't learn.
No, we did not.
Correct.
learn. What were we coming out here, or was that an LST?
I think it was LST.
So it was an LST, and we're going along, and same thing happened, and we took a gamble. We're like, "I bet you by the time we get there, it'll be clear and we can get through."
Yeah.
And I think we were stopped for maybe 30 minutes, and that's exactly
That's
what happened.
not too bad, yeah.
And so we took a gamble, and this one did it. We lost bad.
At least we had plenty of time. We had plenty of time. It's fine.
The alternate route was through the mountains.
Yeah.
That's the other part of it.
the other part.
And
I'm glad we didn't go the alternate route.
the alternate route also said may contain unpaved roads.
That was the second
Yeah.
alternate route.
Oh,
Well, if you
the
guys
second one.
if you guys would tow with a diesel truck, then you wouldn't have that problem.
Listen here.
Which is kind of funny though, because
just saying.
let me get a little farther in the story, and that's actually
Throwing it out
there's
there.
that part of it too. So we stop We get out. We have our snowball fight.
Yeah, that was
We had a
fun.
snowball fight on the side of the
Tuna
40.
immediately got sick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I got sick after.
What were you eating the snow?
I guess he was out there with his shorts and a t-shirt on,
Yeah.
so he was.
I was living life.
Yeah.
we were living life, man. But like it's like one of those things where it was like all fun and quirky at 1st, and then just slowly
Got real.
descended into
Yeah.
madness, and that's what happened. First, fun, wholesome
Yep.
mini trucker snowball fight on the side of the freeway, and then it was sitting there for 4 hours.
Yep.
Sitting there, and I was driving. I don't know why I was driving. I was driving, so I'm sitting there, just whatever, doing stuff, and finally the freeway opens up, and since the freeway had been closed for so long, the rest of the eastbound of the 40 was covered in snow.
Yeah.
So we managed to get off the road. We managed to get into a truck stop, and the 5 of us slept in a truck stop.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it's
for-
like the moment that
I
we
just-
parked, it became a parking lot.
It was
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
It was bad.
Nobody was going anywhere.
We got
I
a
was-
pretty good spot though.
We
pulled
did.
in right on time. Yeah.
Brian got us in pretty good. Brian got us in a good
I just
spot.
remember seeing Lindsay have Ziploc bags on her feet.
Yeah.
That's all.
We're showing that
Picture of that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're showing it to the camera? Oh, nice.
She was with
Yeah.
new bag goofing.
New bag
Watch
goofing.
the video version.
yeah, definitely. If you're listening to this and you want to see the wildness unfold, come over to the YouTube and check
Frank,
it out.
for some reason, had snow boots.
So in
had
the
wellies.
trailer, we on deck because of many past experiences on deck, mostly
Oh,
LST.
okay. Yeah, makes
we
sense.
have rain boots,
Yeah.
we have ponchos. We are ready to go.
Yeah.
And as soon as I opened up the truck to get out and I saw the snow on the floor, I'm like, I got to go out to the trailer. So I go out
Get
to
my
the trailer.
boots.
We get our boots, and again, it was still kind of light then. Actually, we still were kind of in a good mood,
Yep.
messing around,
Yep.
laughing at the truckers, all yelling at each other and everything. And it didn't get really real for me until it was about 3:00 in the morning, and I'm like sitting in the Titan like this, trying to sleep. Oh,
With your
this-
back
So why
on
didn't
fire.
you guys leave then? You still couldn't leave?
No, well, because it was icy.
We were like
It was,
blocked in by
freezing.
people too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
Literally at
again,
the
if you had
moment-
had a four-wheel drive diesel truck,
I live in Arizona.
could
We
have
don't need
been,
a four-wheel drive truck.
Well, what
for.
was funny is we left my truck, my Tundra, in Phoenix, which is a 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Nice interior. And so it was me and Brian in the front of the Titan, Lindsay in the back of the Titan. And then, like I said, about 3:00 in the morning is when it got real for me. And then another funny part was we're like sitting there like in the truck trying to sleep, and we just hear just revved out. We're like, what is going on? And it's this fool asleep with his foot on the accelerator,
Oh my God.
I was racing in my dreams.
just wrapped out.
Yeah. I was going so fast. It was crazy.
Was your truck squatted too at the same
Oh
time?
yeah.
Dude, it just wrapped out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then we moved on the next morning.
So how long did you stay asleep on that?
It was just a
until I
couple of
woke him
seconds.
up.
You're like, hey, dude.
It was
Tuna's
long,
a real light sleeper, thankfully. So
it was
he
long
woke me
enough to
up.
go, everybody to wake up and go like, what is that?
I
What
shut
is going on?
I shut the truck off immediately, thinking like nobody will know it was me.
Oh my God.
It was rowdy. It was wild.
Yeah.
But so that
Times.
adventure, man.
So was it like you were dreaming of racing? Because
Dude,
when you're dreaming of like peeing, you usually pee in the bed.
Yeah,
at the same
right. Yeah,
time, right?
yeah.
So you were dreaming that you were racing.
Yeah, no, I was dreaming about.
Full throttle.
I don't know what I was doing. I was on like a carpet.
Yeah.
Like
I thought
it
you
was
were
like a magic
joking.
carpet. No, I'm serious.
You're literally
I was
just
dreaming
having-
like I was on a magic carpet or something, and we were just like going on this like weird racetrack. And then when I was like wrapping the throttle,
Yeah.
I just fucking I just took off on the carpet, and I was like, yeah, I'm winning. This is awesome.
Yeah, you was going. You was winning.
It was a weird
You were
dream.
100% winning.
Yeah.
You definitely won, man. You definitely
And then the
won.
announcement right after was like, anybody in your
yeah.
car, you need to leave now.
Yeah, they tried to get on the intercom in the middle of the night, trying to tell everybody to leave. And
Where were you gonna go?
Yeah,
Exactly.
where were we
Yeah.
gonna go?
Yeah.
The parking lot was completely packed, and then we didn't actually leave that parking lot until about 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because even at like 5 or 6 in the morning, it was still frozen.
Yeah.
Everything was still frozen. So we got on the way, and then it still continued to kind of snow on and off all the way, and then we ran into some rain here. And then we got to the part here where the 40s washed out from
Yeah,
the
flood last year.
Yep.
And so we're like navigating these like tight corridors.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
like crazy.
At like
yeah.
midnight with
Yeah.
a trail. Yeah.
Tired.
So the alternate route to that is up and down through the mountains where we went to
Pigeon
Pigeon
Forge?
Forge yesterday.
Yeah.
That's the alternate route.
Oh, really?
So like for us, 2-car trailer, like navigating the 10 miles down 40 in tight lanes is way better than driving up and down through the damn mountains.
Yeah.
When we
like
were
that.
following
That was-
you, or when you were following me in the dually, and you were like going over the center lane all the time
Yeah.
with those giant wheels that you
Oh,
have.
Yeah,
in the
did
back
your
of that
wheels
thing?
stick out so far
I
on
hate
that
it. I
truck?
fucking hate it, dude. Thank you. Golly, I'm selling. They are for sale. If anybody wants
Did
to
they
buy
come
them.
with the truck?
No,
Oh.
I put them on there like an idiot.
They look
when
good
I
on
bought
there.
them, when I bought them, I knew they were going to have a little poke. Right?
Yeah,
I talked
that's
to the
a
guy.
lot
and
of poke.
When I was like, "This is crazy. I do not want these." You know what I mean? So I am in the process of trying to sell them to get a better wheel.
No, right on.
I don't like them at all.
I like how they're called Cali wheels too.
Yeah, I do. I love the style though.
Yeah, they
They
look
look good.
really
Yeah,
good
they
on
look
the
really
truck.
them is crazy.
Yeah, they're
I
out
hate
there.
them. But yeah, it adds like 8 inches to the width of it. So
Yeah, an already
luckily,
wide truck.
luckily it's not as wide as the 2-car trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the same. So if I'm hitting the wall with my truck, I'm going to hit it with the trailer. So it's a good car. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all over the road anyway when I drive, so it helps.
Yeah.
I hit the the sleeping strips a little earlier than normal, so
Yeah.
Oh, it
I can
keeps
just
you
get
awake.
back. Yeah.
And you're not wrecking another car.
No, or
Oh,
signs. Or
Hold on.
signs.
Now to switch it back, to go back to another story, which was hilarious.
I didn't want to talk
was,
about that.
Oh, you don't want to talk
no,
about that?
It's fine. Go ahead.
What's wrong with it?
I didn't put it out there. So, but it's fine. We could talk
About my cat?
Oh no. I thought you were talking about.
Oh no!
I thought you were,
What are you
I thought you were
talking
about hitting the sign.
Oh,
way home.
no.
Yeah, we can talk about your cat. Go ahead, Frank. Shit. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Oh my God.
Let's talk about your cat, Frank.
Let's talk about my cat. So, I guess long-time listeners, I don't know. If you've listened to this podcast for a really long time, you know that I have a Toyota on my property that contains a cat,
Yeah.
a mummified cat.
Oh,
And yeah, I have this 84 to 88 Toyota standard cab. And yeah, so the quick story is Brian was asking about it. He said, hey, you should go out and check it out. And blah, blah, we were maybe going to do something with it. Okay, cool. So I go out there and check it out. And I'm looking at it. And I open the door. And there's this mummified cat on the front seat. And it's got these like 2 eyes that are just, the eyes are gone. And they're just these dark abyss type holes.
Yeah, it's just an eye socket. It's crazy.
And so he came out when he was getting the Tiffany's Toyota ready to go. What?
what's happening over there?
Okay, all right,
Vince is
fine.
dying.
So then, so he's like, hey, I live kind of close to Alan's shop, close-ish, about an hour away. About an hour away. And he's like, hey, I'm gonna come crash at your pad. I said, okay, cool. And then he's all, hey, I heard you have an 84 to 88 Toyota, and I need the gear selector off of it. And I said, yeah, for sure, go get it. And then so I was taking my kids to school. And I forgot to tell him about the cat.
Oh,
so
no.
he experienced the cat. Surprised about the cat.
I opened the door and I wasn't even paying attention to looking at the seat. I just saw the shifter. I'm like, sweet, that's exactly what I need. So I bend down in there, and there's a fucking dead cat.
It was like right here.
I was like, God.
And it's not even like
Just grabbing the shit.
Yeah, it's not even like it's tiny in there anyway.
Scared the shit out of me. I thought it was stuffed at first, like it was like taxidermy. You know what
Yes,
I mean?
that's what I keep my
You
taxidermy
thought it
cat.
was I like put it in there as a joke or
Joke,
something.
yeah. And I was just like, what?
Nope.
God. And then Frank's like, no, that's a real cat. He died right there, you know? And then I felt bad. I'm like, this poor cat just wanted to find a nice place to sleep.
Yep.
And then died.
And Frank killed him.
How'd the cat get in there?
And that's the other thing.
That's what we were.
So when
talking
I
about,
first discovered the cat, I was like, how the hell did this cat get in here? The windows are rolled up.
yeah.
The little window on the back was shut. There's no holes in the floorboards. I do not know how this cat got in there.
It didn't stink at all, though. I was
Well, it's been
surprised.
in there for
a long time.
long time.
Yeah, it was definitely mummified.
Someone put it in there.
You think someone put it in there?
Yeah. That's what I was. I don't know, man, but it's got its own spot in the seat. I don't think it died in there.
Well, no, it definitely died.
Oh, it 100%
Oh,
died
but
in there.
somebody put it
Yeah.
in there like this.
But who?
Yeah,
The neighbor?
You and a psychosis.
I don't know, right? Watch it.
he was on a magic carpet.
Magic carpet race.
That was my
Like it
magic
in there
carpet
racking out on Twitter.
ride. Just wander my property. I just wander my property,
Oh my
killing stray cats.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
so
you got to name the cat though. Frank. Have we thought about
yeah,
that?
that's good. That's good. I should name that cat.
It can
Are
never.
you gonna keep it in there?
That cat owns the truck, dude.
That's that cat's truck.
Remove that cat.
Yeah.
That's that cat's truck.
and then when I was in there taking the shifter off, I had to lay right beside him. You know, I'm just like,
it was.
we got close. You know, so I felt bad for him.
I'll think of a name. I can't think of one right now, but I'll definitely think of a name. The ironic,
Mr. Whiskers.
Well, no more whiskers. It has to do something with the
No
eyeballs.
more whiskers.
The most disturbing, the most disturbing part.
Frank.
Would you,
Mr. No More Whiskers.
Mr. No More Whiskers? Kitty gone. Ran out alive. The most disturbing part is the eyes, the void.
That is
It's
void.
two voids.
And he still has all his hair.
It's complete. It's like a complete.
I'm alive and have
minus the
zero
eyes.
hair. You know,
I'm
Minus the
alive.
eyes.
Listen, serial killers have had a story that started with less than.
I don't know. But then the other super ironic part is on this truck, on the little wing window, is a PETA sticker.
Oh yeah, I did get a picture with the PETA sticker and the cat in the background. I was like, oh, that's ironic.
And the other part to that was when I first discovered the cat, I didn't tell you right away. And I sent you a video, and I was like sending him a video of the inside, and then I was like, and then there's this. It's a little jarring. It's a little jarring.
It is, yeah. Everybody knows now.
cat.
So
Yeah.
if you go out to Frank's property, his address is 101.
Yeah, you can come get the cat because like we were
Free cat?
talking about taking that truck and doing something with it, and it needs to be incorporated or something. I
Yeah.
don't know. But anyway,
It donated.
what were we
parts-
talking
it,
about?
It donated parts to Tiff's truck.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy
Yeah.
I can contribute in some small way.
Yeah.
And it's still in there, right? Yeah.
It's the shifter in her truck now.
That's
yeah.
tight. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad I could help.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What were we
I don't
talking
even know
about?
what we were talking about. We're talking
We were
about you
talking
bring.
about your wheels, and all of a sudden,
Was it?
well, was your wrapping on your
Oh
truck?
yeah, we were talking about the wheels and me crashing something, and then Frank wanted to talk about a cat. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Your dually with the pokey outies.
Yeah, pokey Audis
The pokey outies.
for sale.
for sale.
Hell of a deal. I'll make you a hell of a deal.
It's raining hard.
Yeah.
It is raining really hard right
It's
now.
fine. It's fine. Everything's
Oh,
okay.
okay. All right, I'm out. Bye.
Bye.
Joey's him.
Yeah, we're swapping out Mexicans like a pig.
Are you watching my brain like just like slowly shut down while I'm
No, we had this plan for a while. I was just trying to make it.
Yeah, once you got deep
good
into
transition.
El Gato Muerto, we're like, nah, bro.
Now let's talk about
dead
the real
kitty
shit.
situation,
So,
yeah.
you guys like Donald Trump? I know nobody here does. I do. I love Donald.
Listen, you take your goddamn guns and you shut your pie hole, boy.
You West
Rock and
Coast
roll
guys.
Central. What was it again that guy was yelling out in his truck?
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Rock and damn roll.
Rock and damn roll, brother.
He was singing to Lindsay. He serenading.
Lindsay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who
She
hasn't
kind of got
serenaded
worked
Lindsay
up
this
about
weekend?
Who hasn't? Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good time. Dead
So
cats.
you gotta go walk around more,
Tuna
Joey,
dying.
tomorrow.
Yeah, what?
You gotta go walk around tomorrow.
That's what
Joey, you
everybody.
need to see
That's
some
what I
more
was talking
stuff.
about earlier. Like the trucks that you get to see, it's everything, and it's mini trucks everywhere,
Everywhere, yeah.
as far as the eye can see. You've got mini trucks, and so yeah, I didn't even graze the surface. I
Did you
was
leave
put
the
to
booth?
work like a true Mexican. I
yeah.
was like, you shut up and sell shirts.
At one point,
you thought
Joey
Joey
had a lawnmower for some reason. I was like, "What are you doing, dude?"
Out of nowhere, I was landscaping, and that was intense, dude.
and then
I was
he had
like,
a-
"What
he had
the? ¿Qué pasó aquí? Like, what is going on?
He had some
Too many
shingles.
white people.
Yeah.
Okay, too many white people." I was like, "Senor, what can I get you?" But no, I love it.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
awesome.
It. It's super sick.
I was excited to hear you come out because I knew you hadn't been out to the show. So I knew you'd like it.
There's so much
You
more
get to
to
see
being, I mean, because
low
I see
trucks.
Brian and Frank, they've done this. They've done like Orange Beach Invasion,
Yeah.
right? That's one. The battle at Bama with that ship looks
Yeah.
so sick. And being the West Coast kid, I didn't make it out to a lot of things until I went to Showfest, and then I did we did a bunch of Phoenix shows way back in the day, and that was a lot of fun. Like the Bring the Noise and Perfect Boys. I never made it to Cruising the Pines yet.
I want to
October this
do
year,
like
so I'm hella excited
a
about
West
that.
Coast tour. Like I told Brian, I want to like take the Mazda out west and like leave it there for a year, and just fly in and out and take the Mazda.
go to
Because,
little
you know, the
shows
Mazda's
here.
only been out there
That
once.
must be nice. You get to just deliver your truck. And then
well,
I'll,
you
I'll
know-
see you later.
Yeah.
Just don't
Just
put a
hold on to
dead
that
cat
for
in
me.
there.
Don't-
Yeah. I'd rather no dead cats in my truck, but whatever things that happen at the compound El Franco, like
Well, you know, like how you guys feel out here is how I feel when I go out there. So that's
Yeah.
what like I'm like dying to hit some more like West Coast shows. You know,
Oh yeah,
so
I'm dying to come back out east.
yeah.
Brian gave me the best idea ever. He's like, you have Jamie and JJ come and like fly in either before and they fly out, or they come in after the show for like Saturday, stay overnight until Sunday, and then we go do Pigeon Forge. Because the fact that they have a mini golf course every 15 feet,
There's a
go-kart track that's bigger than most parking structures in San Diego every 30 feet. Mountain coasters that apparently I'm the only one that's a little bitch and hits the brakes. Video proven. Let me bring that up first because apparently I have to be at the very end so that I'm telling you those back wheels were whatever those are, wheels or whatever coming off the track,
gotta
bro.
trust it.
I felt it
Just
like,
gotta trust
hey,
it.
Funny, hey, Funny. I never
Everybody
heard
listening,
a wheel
he-
creak like that before. Okay?
Everybody listening, he tried to lie and say he did not touch the brakes,
yeah,
and then
no,
video
I
evidence proved
Video
it.
evidence.
I mean, not just touching the brakes.
When you have
he was pushing it through.
When you have Tiffany walk up and be like, stop being a little bitch.
Yeah, don't be a bitch, Joey.
You might have been being a little bitch for a hot minute,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You're like, I
and
wasn't hitting the
Tuna
brakes.
was the first guy on every mountain coaster. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah! He was basically the
brakes
Jamaican
don't exist.
bobsled team over
No,
here, dude.
It's a great time, man.
That was,
It's like a destination around here. Like, you know, growing up in Indiana, like everybody would go to Pigeon Forge for like vacation, spring break. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a great little town to go around and do just all kinds of shit. There's all kinds of shit to see.
yeah, it's the Dollywood.
We
The Dollywood is great.
Those are the twin peaks I was trying to look at. Those are the
yeah,
twin mountains
yeah.
I'm trying to look at. But Dollywood apparently is right there in Pigeon Forge. And then we went to Buc-ee's, and I spent. I don't even have a bag to take this shit home with me, and I went to Buc-ee's and came out with
Yeah.
I bought a bag at
$160.
Buc-ee's.
I'm sure you saw somebody's Instagram with me like Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
And I have Jamie on the road. She's like, "Buy me nuggets. Buy me this. I need a cup. I need a bag. Don't forget a shirt for JJ.
You gotta get a
Don't
Buc-ee's
get yourself
bathing
anything,
suit.
'cause we got money for that.
Yeah.
But Mama needs some beaver nuggets. Yeah, no, that's exactly right. I mean, it doesn't exist at Disneyland for her. So
The best thing about Buc-ee's is you can get a sandwich in Buc-ee's. All my friends all know about this. You can get a sandwich in Buc-ee's, walk around, eat it, and you don't have to pay for it. As long as you eat it.
unless
in
you're
that
Buc-ee's.
lazy,
sounds about white.
you
Let me
know?
tell you something. If a Mexican tried to do that,
Done that with a Dr. Pepper ice.
Yeah.
She got followed the entire time she was walking around.
Tiff hates me. Like, she doesn't even walk around in a Buc-ee's with me. She's like, don't do it. I'm leaving.
I had my first sandwich this time, and the a-hole that I am, the only Buc-ee's experience of ordering sandwiches is me watching Frank every year going to either LST or to this.
Yeah.
He goes up to this screen. And so I'm running hot laps around the meat counter looking for a screen
As you do.
to press, and I pass Brian. Again. I'm sure they'll get into that in the post or the next one. They're talking about it. No, and so I'm like, I don't see a screen. And you're used to seeing Frank's hand, tuna, no onions,
Tuna, no crust.
more white people
Custom
sauce. Yeah.
What's white people
We got a complicated order.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking for the screen, can't find it. But then he's like, no, just go get a sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how it works?
Just get a sandwich.
And
yeah.
so I went and got one, and I mashed that bad boy in the back seat driving back here. That shit was
You got the turkey
delicious.
club, right?
I think, no, it was a club melt. It didn't
Yeah,
say
the turkey
on
club
it.
melt.
I think it was dead cat meat sandwich.
Dead cat.
Served a la Frank a la mode.
Mr. Whisker sandwich.
Yeah. El Gato Muerto.
For those listening, there's no Frank and Brian right now.
No
There's,
Frank and Brian.
No Frank and Brian.
Scene.
Yeah,
This is-
for everybody listening. No Frank and Brian right now.
Frank and Brian, they have
disappeared.
left the building. Yeah.
Well, no, we're still in the living room.
Yeah,
They're trying to say they're in the
They're
living
here
room,
in
but
spirit.
I don't believe
Yeah.
them.
They're here in spirit.
In spirit.
Yeah.
In kitty, eyeless kitty spirit. They're watching us with judgment, both of them right now. They're like, "You guys suck."
Is this what we look like?
Are you guys having an out of podcast experience right now? You guys are.
No, this is. I'm glad you guys have come out, Joey. Honestly,
I
want to
can't even begin
experience-
to tell you. So last year, me and Glenn have this thing.
Yeah, Glenn
about
came out
shows.
last year. They
Glenn
drove
came out
out
last year, and he got. Apparently, he caught a little bit of flack for bringing the Honda out because like mini truck man.
Because that did not happen.
Really?
Yeah, there was no flack.
No, not from you guys at all.
Yeah.
I'm talking about from like people were like, "Why the hell is this car here?"
No, dude, that car is. Like,
I love that car. That car
is a pure
sick.
mini truck inspired car. You
What
know,
is this
so
car?
yeah,
His
that
Honda Accord.
Accord.
With all the star interior.
Oh,
that used to be,
yeah, that's-
No, that, I don't think there was
Oh,
any.
that
It's
is
a mini
it's
truck.
an actual
Yeah.
bagged car.
Yeah.
One of the
Yeah.
first that I know of. MIC Customs did it back in the day.
cool.
Yeah.
But so Glenn and me, Glenn's my right hand man. He's my number one top guy.
He's the president of San Diego. For anybody listening,
He's the true president. He's the boss. I'm just the street boss, the underboss, like we were talking about earlier.
Glenn, I got your back.
But yeah, Glenn, he's got your back way back because he ain't
Way
saying that shit to your face. This is the type of club or the type of people that we hang out with is friends that talk shit to your face and good about you behind your back. But so me and Glenn have this show thing going on where but Glenn is the first, and I talked about it in the podcast. Glenn's the first person to like invite me. Hey, come hang out. I'm going to have a truck, and he's like, it doesn't matter, just come hang out with some cool people. And we always had this running thing because me and him were roll dogs. We went everywhere together. So he had on me. He went to Drop Zone. Back when Drop Zone was huge, the 3-day run, and everybody went to it. So he went to that, and he got to drive Dave's yellow truck, and he's dragging it. It's like one of the. I gave it to him for his birthday. All printed out, sick picture of him dragging Dave's truck. Like, and Dave's like, "Don't drag." He's like, "All right," just down the highway. And then I got to go to Showfest in Greenville. Without him, I don't know why. He works at Honda. They have shit hours. But he couldn't go to Showfest. So like he had that, I had this. Then he went up to me and he came last year, and I was like, I want to go. And like I drove my truck to the show this year. I was super excited about it, super dope. And I was like, but I'm not going to be able to drive
Yeah, you should have drove the Tacoma.
And it was. I pulled it out of the garage and it's shaking like a stripper at church.
Oh yeah, you told me that. Probably needs a tune-up.
Probably would have been a bad situation in the snow. Yeah, it's not. It ain't a 4-wheel drive diesel, Mr. Fucking
Well,
White Devil.
you know, my
Diesel, but it's 4-wheel drive.
I
it's off road. Yeah,
So I've only done 2 shows out west. So I've only done Forbidden, done it a few times, and then
Me too.
What was that show Brian went? Day to Remember, the 30 year. That's
you were at
that's
Day
the
to
only 2 shows on the West Coast I've ever done.
Really?
Yeah.
I
So
did
like
not know
I'm
that.
like dying to hit some some. I wanted to do Rolling in the Red Rocks and do the drive, but I guess that's not going to happen.
Glenn and Kim did that too, so they have that
Yeah.
on me as well. But
We came to Mini Truck Revival in LA.
Oh yeah. When we brought the
so I
Toyota
guess
out, that was a
everything
great
was a
time. Sorry, I lied.
it's April, not July.
Yeah, my bad. When me and Tiff took her Toyota out there, we kind of planned it around. Well, Brian talked us into it because we were going to do it the weekend before, and Brian's like, "No, do it next weekend, and then Mini Truck Revivals that weekend." So that was awesome because I got to see a bunch of like old school West Coast, like traditional like mini truck style trucks. So it was really cool, and just the where it was at. It was like the Arch District.
Oh
in
yeah,
LA,
it's right
and-
under the 6th Street Bridge,
Yeah.
right, Frank?
It was awesome.
I haven't actually been to that building, but just the vibe. It looks so.
Me
sick.
and Tiff decided to walk down over the bridge and then down to like a little taco joint, and it was the nastiest 10-block walk I've ever taken in my whole life. It was unreal. I'm like, this is a really bad
Is that
idea.
not-
Why did we do this?
Is that
You
not
know?
Skid Row? Is that not near
I'm pretty
Skid
sure.
Row? No.
I got back and I was addicted to meth, I think.
It's the edge of the Arts District, and it's the edge of East Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
So like Whittier Boulevard.
Oh.
It was like there was
Just Vatos Locos forever right there. Yeah.
That's exactly where
El
it is.
Pino.
there was legit just piles of trash. Like people just pulled up along the curb and just threw their trash on the fucking sidewalk. I was like, this is gross, man.
Yeah. Terrible.
And then homeless guys are asking me for money, and I'm kicking them like, get off of me, you know.
Listen, I just needed $5 so that I could get tacos too. All right.
Yeah.
Goddammit, what's
Well, then
wrong
we
with
went
you?
to like the taco place that we wanted to go to, and it was like frou-frou gross tacos.
Frou-frou?
Yeah, I don't even know how to
like
explain
them
it.
when you- use that
Deconstructed
shit.
tacos.
Yeah, we immediately walked out,
Like what we
and
saw
went and got
at
some
Pigeon
pizza.
Forge? Walking
that's what I'm
tacos?
talking
Yeah.
about.
Oh
Yeah, you don't know about walking tacos?
I know, bro.
Dude,
we
you
have
take-
real tacos.
You take Fritos, you
Yeah.
put some taco meat in it, and cheese and sour cream and stuff. It's amazing.
That sounds about white.
amazing.
No, it's dope.
That
Yeah,
sounds
that's
about
like
white.
That's like the.
You're right.
walk-in
You're
taco.
No, we invented that at 7-Elevens when I was a kid. You used to
What do
open
you
it up
call 'em?
And then bang out the chili and cheese in the bag, so you didn't have to pay extra for it.
What do you
Yeah.
call it? What's the West Coast for that?
White people food.
Oh, you just call it white people?
No,
food?
yeah, white people tacos.
Yeah.
My son calls them Dragons Love Tacos.
Dragons love tacos.
If anybody has kids and they know that book, the Dragons Love Tacos.
That's an actual book.
Yeah. It was written by somebody in the Midwest that thought ketchup was spicy.
Yeah.
You know? Because they have a place. I was telling somebody today in the Midwest, they have Taco John's.
Yeah.
Which is like if you can imagine a whiter version of Taco Bell. And that's a wild concept.
When I came out and took Brian's, went and picked up Brian's truck at Allen's, he took me to the OG Del Taco. And it was
And,
amazing.
Frank's like, I need to come back in and discuss
You remember,
this.
we called you and was like, hey.
Oh, that's
what's-
right. Yeah.
So,
Was it a cheeseburger and 2 chicken tacos? Because that has to be said. I'm sorry, the double dough burger. Yeah.
it was great.
With fries and a side of secret sauce.
Yeah. I haven't tried that yet.
That's a
but,
me thing. Yeah.
I want to try that.
But no, I want
Get
to.
Tuna into the conversation over there. What's going on?
Tuna.
what's up
Since
with
you
Tuna?
died quieter, now let's bring you back to life
I
after
just
your
don't wanna
eyes
start
are
coughing,
taken out.
man. I just
Yeah, I
don't-
told you. Don't be a loud dyer.
Yeah,
No,
die
that's
quietly.
Like, you can cough all over it. It's fine.
Yeah, no. I'm
You put COVID all over it.
Oh,
Tell us about you, Tuna.
Yeah, what
Tell
do
us
you
about
do?
how you got this $1,100 truck with no cracks in the dash. Hallelujah!
So one of my buddies back home, he calls me on the regular because he buys, sells trades, and he sends me a photo. Hey, do you want this? Yep.
Yeah, right.
Let me know how much. So he called me the day the auction ended, and he goes, "You owe me $1,100."
What was it?
That's awesome.
That was a 1993 Mazda B2200.
Yeah.
Teal, gray interior. It's
The best
needs
deals.
paint, but
Yeah.
whatever. What vehicle does
I saw it when we went over. Brian took us over there. I was like, I love that Mazda. Can we have that Mazda?
Yeah, right.
So,
But your start was not in mini trucks.
No,
In
no.
this whole forte into custom vehicles.
Like my very first car was a '91 Acura Integra, and then I wound up selling that, buying a '87 Monte Carlo luxury sport on 13s. Sound
Be
system.
that fucking low on the
hydraulics.
go-go,
Hey
yeah.
man, I didn't. It didn't fit me, but I loved that car.
Well, when I first
you got
came in-
lowrider background, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. When
Yeah.
I first came in, we started chopping it up about
Yep.
lowrider shows and stuff. Because
Yeah,
I used to go when I was a kid. That's the first custom thing that I went into because my dad did interior was the lowrider show in San Diego. And so you did the lowrider shows. Where was it? In
So this is in Silverdale, Washington.
Washington. That's what it
And
was.
my twin brother and I, we were part of a lowrider club called USO Car Club.
Yeah.
oh, you're Uso?
Yeah.
Wow.
So back in '97, we met Kita, the founder of USO Car Club, at the Portland Super Show. Super cool guy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. And that year, we met so many cool members, and yeah, it went on from there. So after I got out of the lowrider scene, I wound up selling the Monte Carlo and buying my first '89 Mazda B2200 mini truck.
And that's it.
It was
That's all she wrote.
already bagged and bodied.
Okay.
A guy out of Cedar Woolley, Washington, a guy named Zach Bell. It was his original truck. Him and his club members built it in, I don't know, I want to say it was just like a few week deal. And it went through quite a few hands. One of my buddies, he got it, and he goes, "Hey, do you want this thing?" I was like, "Yep."
It seems to be like at any time anybody says, "Hey, you want some of this?"
Yep.
Yes, I do.
So that was my first mini. I wound up selling that, and then I moved to Arizona. So now I bought another mini.
And then you're with Purple Poison now. Right?
Yeah, and, after buying another mini, my roommate and I, we were prospecting, well, we were looking around for different car clubs. And this is when we wound up going.
I love
to,
those smiles when somebody
Yeah,
tells a story
so
about how
we-
I got in
Instantly,
the club. Yeah.
So
we ran
so-
a train on you. That's how you got in. We call him the Tuna train, baby.
You remember that night?
So we wound
We all
up.
do.
Yeah.
So
It's
my buddy
on
John
YouTube.
Vernon and I, we wound up going to the wrecking yard, and we ran into Jeff and his dad at the wrecking yard, and his dad has a bunch of tattoos, and we're just like, and I don't know, one of you guys were wearing like a mini truck shirt.
We probably both were.
Yeah.
He's probably still a low rider. Where'd you get those tattoos, Mato?
Did you get a perfect poise tattoo and then not even be in the club?
No.
No.
We know somebody like that.
Oh, damn.
I'd like to point out that I had no part of that particular situation.
Oh, okay.
Moving on.
Forbidden fantasy.
So after meeting Jeff and his dad and
Don't hit the
sorry,
table.
don't hit the table. So after meeting them, we became prospects to Perfect Boys, and
I apologize, Brian.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
sorry.
absolutely. That's how it happens.
Yeah.
I told you this is a bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Just so we know that Brian and Frank had stopped the podcast an hour ago before I sat down. Frank's like, well, no more of this shit. That's absolute garbage after I
Brian's
leave
diving on the
room.
ground to unplug everything.
Hey, this is just a B team eating up the garbage.
Absolutely.
It's fine.
Absolutely. That's fun, though. You know, you meet cool people, you hang out, and
Yeah.
it just becomes a thing.
Yeah, I
And
think
that's the best part of the mini trucking world, at least as far as I'm concerned, is that, like, you know, everybody becomes family. We all wear different T-shirts, but everybody is a part of this whole bigger family that we call mini trucking, and it's
Yeah.
just,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
It's
I hang out
incredible.
with several guys every day.
Well,
You know what I
that's-
mean?
yeah,
like
no, absolutely.
legit. My best friends are all in Severed. You know?
Yeah.
Hey, but when it came time to my best friend Fred and I, when we sat down and we were just trying to figure out what we were going to do with my truck that I bought in Arizona, it was you take every different genre of of the different scenes. You have your import scene, which loves doing wire tucks.
Yeah.
You have the hot rod scene where they don't mix. They have a good variety of where it goes chrome and paint.
Yeah, because you were showing me the pictures
Yeah.
of your stuff and
And then you have the lowrider scene where they chrome everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and etch and
Yeah.
paint
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
filigree and
everything.
So I take a little bit of all of that through the history of growing up, and I put that into my vehicle.
I think the mini truck scene is a great representation of that, right? Of like every single, you know, car culture as far as like Euro, lowrider, you know, hot rod, everything, because you can look at any truck that's in that show field and see different parts of that,
Oh,
right?
Yeah, it's funny.
So-
Like every person that I know everywhere I go, every mini trucker that I know goes to like all the other shows. They go to the hot rod shows. They go
Yeah,
to the import
yeah.
shows. They go to everything that's available. The lowrider shows. You don't really see a whole lot of the other side of the coin, where
Right.
the hot rod guys are coming to mini truck
Yeah,
shows.
yeah.
or
Lowrider
whatever.
guys don't usually come to mini
Yeah.
truck show or hot rod
Yeah.
shows. I mean, there are some, you know, but like hell, I mean, lowrider was even in Indianapolis 2 weekends ago. You know, so it's like they're bringing the lowrider show back around, but it's all, you know, very few mini trucks were there, which there could have been a lot. But
Yeah.
you know, it's. I
like
think it's
to-
a.
go ahead.
No, I just think it's an awesome scene to look at as far as the mini truck guys is. You walk around and you see just everything that you can possibly want to see. If you want to see like a lowrider inspired mini, you can find it. If you want to see a hot rod inspired mini, you can find it. If you want to look at like a traditional old school mini truck, you can find it at this show. You know, and it's really cool.
I like to think of mini truckers as like the eclectic bunch because
Yeah.
they take something from everything that they know, but they don't like a DJ. You could talk to Roulette about this. He DJ shows, but he's a DJ at his core, and he is very eclectic in the sense that where like he plays a certain type of music when he's at the show, but he loves digging through music, and he has music from every genre.
Yeah.
And so that when he comes up to play, he's going to play what people want to hear, what he wants to hear, and you're going to have to listen. But at the same time, he knows of all different types of music. And a lot of mini truckers I know are like that. Everybody has a background, but it almost seems like everybody that was around that background, that's not really where I belong. That's not my home. That's something that I've put in my repertoire of things that I know, no matter what it is that you do. and then you come around, and then you become a part of this other thing where you're like, okay, I didn't. The cog in the place is like, I didn't fit here in this. I don't fit here, but I can take everything I learned from here and fit it right there.
What me and Tuna were talking about earlier. Me and Tuna were talking about earlier is like kind of like the background of a lot of mini truckers is like the skate scene, BMX.
Yeah.
You know, you talk to a lot of mini truckers and like they're all like, not all, but a lot of BMX guys. A lot of guys that were in the skate scene. You know, so it's weird to like think that we all have this major thing in common and just kind of evolved into, you know, the mini trucks. So I'll be a mini trucker for the rest of my life. You know?
me too.
So
Me too, for
it
sure.
is what I love.
100%. If you look at old videos, old skate videos, you saw like a transition progression.
Yeah.
It used to be like punk rock and roll. And then if you follow the skateboarding videos after Powell Peralta, when it got into like the late 80s, early 90s, and then through the mid to late 90s, you saw like a transition of music, because you had people that were skateboarding were not just the punk rockers anymore. You had like the hip hoppers that were skateboarding and the other, you know, rock and all that stuff. So you had like all of that culture combined into those things, and you saw it like progress.
Oh yeah.
And that's how I see mini trucking. It progressed into other people that, like I said, just didn't fit everywhere else that they were, and they went into this thing, and then every culture that they brought with them meshed into this thing that everyone calls mini trucking.
I'm excited. Well, I don't know about excited, but I'm curious to see how mini truck's going to evolve, like say the next 10 years, because like the Euro scene has kind of made a comeback, but like all us old head mini truck guys, like we've been in it for, you know, 30 years, and it's all the same guys. We don't really have a new group moving in. We kind of do. Me and Brian touched on it some, you know, like guys doing, you know, motor swaps and you know, just static trucks and stuff like that. It's kind of a new group of mini truckers, but it's all the same guys. You know, we got older and got more money and build nicer trucks. And, you know, and it's
But
like
that's how we all started out.
Yeah.
You know, before we were bagging and stuff, it was just like, well, let's put it on the ground. Let's static drop it.
Right.
Yeah, let's get our 8-inch blocks.
Yeah.
Let's stack blocks.
Yes.
I got a 3-inch and a 4-inch block.
I was talking to Frank and Brian about this once, and I
Monolith
said,
on air shocks.
if you have these guys that are doing in the mini truck revival style, I guess that's what you might call it. You have these guys that are starting at the point that everybody that's in mini trucking started it in the 70s, right? And then the 80s it progressed, and they did all the runs, and the vanning culture then turned into the truck culture, and then somebody from vanning put their culture into the trucks, and then it progressed into like eventual like bags or hydraulics, and then bags or
I just want to point out,
if you could relax, Brian, please.
Brian's over here trying to kill moths with.
I'm just watching him in the reflection of the glass here.
Brian Ventura,
Throwing
pet
paper
detective
towels.
over here. And
Never
I
seen
can't
somebody
believe
try to
how
kill a moth
distracting
with a lighter
person you
before.
can
That
be,
is so
Brian.
disrespectful, Brian.
You're on a roll, Brian. I know about that.
He just got serious.
Hey, something else is recently is the times that I've gone to Pomona, the Pomona Grand National Roadster Show. Such a cool show.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see that some of these custom cars are now getting body drops and getting the big wheels, and seeing these like 53s and just setting them on the rocker. Oh man, how cool.
Keep going. You're good.
Yeah, no, it's just so cool to see. 57.
Well, you guys, people came from that culture and brought that
yeah.
into mini trucking, and now it's bleeding back out.
Well, like the body drop and the channeling, that all came from like old school hot rod.
From
you know
red
what I mean?
rods and stuff, right?
Yeah, so you know they did that way back in the day, channel and you know section
And chop.
all that stuff. So it just kind of evolved, and you know us mini truckers, we wanted to be as low as possible, right?
Yeah, we took it further.
It's ironic because my Mazda don't even lay out, so whatever. I just got to do some more cutting. But
I
you
can't
know,
say a goddamn thing to anybody about having a truck that lays out. Yeah.
Joey
I'm
has
still
steps to
working
get in
on
his.
mine.
Oh yeah, no, I still need a step stool for a bag truck.
They're like, Joey's your truck
Nobody can
lifted?
see this in the video, but mine are the only feet that are dangling underneath the stable. No.
Oh, it's on camera.
Oh,
Yeah,
it is.
you can see
it. If not, we'll have Lindsay stand up and show a video to the crowd out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna get, as soon as I get back, I'm gonna get a hold of Panda and see if he can take a look at my truck.
Oh yeah,
Get to the next step.
yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, everything's
Oh,
the
I
next
can't
step.
wait
Somebody
to
sent me a
drive
thing.
in that
Somebody had a
thing.
sticker this weekend that I saw so far, and like I've seen so much wild shit. I've not touched the surface of this show so far. I made it as far as to get a coffee and then went back because my union mandated 15-minute break.
Yeah, it was over.
And I was getting calls from Frank. You get back here. There's landscaping need be done. And then, but I saw a sticker.
You're gonna do some roofs
I saw
tomorrow,
a
right?
sticker.
We'll give you some shingles and go do some
drywall,
roofs.
sir.
Yeah.
I saw a sticker somebody had, and it said, "No, it's not done."
Yeah, no, it's not done.
And it looked pretty done. Way more done than mine. But it said, "No, it's not done." And I said, "Well, I mean, that's if you really look at any car person, nothing's done.
It's never done.
It's
right?
never done.
Yeah.
It's never
Hey,
really done."
What's that plate that we saw earlier today on that Ford?
Eat more possums?
No, not that one. I think that was
It
that
said
was
my
on the
OnlyFans
Mitsubishi or
address
something.
is.
No, it was something. It said something. Yeah, it needs paint, and no, I'm not gonna paint
Oh,
it.
Yeah.
that's
I
fine.
talk about
I
that
didn't see
with
that.
my friends sometimes too. Like, I can't just not finish something.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I always want like a truck that I can just jump in and not give two shits about and
Yeah.
drive it. Bagged, bodied. Just like old patina style.
Mm-hmm.
I want to find a nice patinaed Mini. I actually found one a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to get it and bag it and like bring it to the show real quick. Just to be,
drop it out, yeah.
Well, I had too much other shit going on, but
Yeah.
that would,
My
I mean, that would be
shock face.
super
Hey,
cool.
you
to
know,
me, yeah.
you know that's gonna snowball into something.
I know, and that's what I
That's
don't
how it
want.
always
You get that
happens.
I don't-
little idea in your
yeah.
head, and then it's game over.
I don't want it to snowball. I have the other trucks that are
I'll
nice.
tell you what to do right now. Just buy another poster.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's
Switch
what.
suspension.
Yeah, but I don't
on
want
the
it.
loose. I can't wait to drive my shit.
I don't want to buy something and build it and it be like 100% done. Like I said, I want something that's like cool, rusty, old patina.
Yeah.
Just beat the shit out of it.
Yeah.
That's
Built it to
people's
rail.
style. Yeah, no, built to rail. I was joking with somebody that was saying like,
But I
back
don't
in
want to
the day-
drag. I don't drag anything. I don't like, tear shit up like that. But just
Drag and
get
destroy.
just get in it and drive it and not care that if I scratch it or something like that.
They were talking about in a few podcasts ago, talking about like finished trucks and once you paint it, you're not going to want to drive it anymore.
yeah.
Or
It's true.
You're worried about it. I mean, I had that with the Tacoma too, but it was
Oh,
super
yeah.
It's
sick
me with the
to,
Nissan. I
yeah,
never
it
drive
was-
it.
Oh yeah, but I mean, you were
Yeah.
out here today getting after it.
I was out there railing it today.
Yeah,
but-
dude, that was fun. We didn't even see you at the gas station. We could have cared less.
Was that your truck that burned up?
Yeah, that was mine that burned down, yeah.
You didn't even say nothing. Yeah,
Well,
just come in eating ice cream.
Yeah, as Jeff and I were cruising tonight, he goes, back in the day, to have all the, to be driving this thing in the rain. He was. He
Never
goes,
do
I
it.
would have been pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
now
would have been.
we're
doesn't
having
matter.
the time of
we,
our life.
We literally left the showgrounds to go do the cruise for the first thing, and
Yeah.
one of my inner fender liner thingies that I have on the bed just hit the tire and just ripped itself down.
Oh, okay.
So it immediately, as soon as I started to drive it, I ruined the truck.
Yeah.
I forget.
Until I drive it.
Yeah, Lindsay and Frank have plans.
I know.
for the truck tomorrow.
It'll be on fire tomorrow.
I forget his name right now, but the guy from Acro with the Nissan that's got the Frontier front end, and he was in line. They let me cut in line with them to get the
Like the dark gray one.
No, the red one with the graphics along
Oh
the top.
yeah.
And he was telling me a story today about because he said I know that truck. I followed that truck through its entire like build or whatever. I
My truck?
love
Oh.
So I love that truck. He's like, and that guy was one of the only people to come up to me and know that was not a Frontier. That was what's a hard body with the Frontier front end.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like, oh, he came right up to me. He knew instantly that that's what that was. And so he was giving you
Yours
props.
isn't a hard body though.
Mine's a Frontier.
Yeah, it's a
No, I
Frontier.
know that.
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah,
saying
Frontier
it's got
with
that-
the-
it's got
okay, the
that
other
right
one.
in front end.
Yeah.
And so he's like, because I was like, oh, did you see the Frontier over there? And he's like, because you showed me pictures. We were going through, chatting in
Oh,
line
yeah.
for 6 hours to get a T-shirt,
Hours.
not for cheesy. He was just.
You got Glenn one, right?
That's awesome. He's like, I can't believe that thing is sick. Yeah, because Glenn's awesome.
Because Glenn is the president of.
Oh my God. Just like Tiffany
gotta
is the
get-
president of our Indiana
She
chapter.
100%. She is the CFO.
Well, your president is
She is
hotter
the
than my
president.
president, okay? What is it? Not my president.
Yeah. No. Trump is our
Make
president.
San Diego great again.
Nobody's ever said that.
No, because it's
one
awesome.
person.
Period. Damn Indiana.
That was one cool thing that I noticed on the way up here. Like when we were posting pictures of the trucks and all the adventures we were having out here, I was getting a lot of people unexpectedly that were posting on my pictures saying like, "Oh man, I can't wait to see that thing."
Love your truck.
I didn't
yeah.
know that there was that many people that cared about it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
you know what I mean?
surprising actually.
No
like,
one cares.
yeah.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
That one guy does.
There's like
Listen, that was Tuna. That was
Tuna and all his other
and
accounts.
Brian. And I think Lindsay
Well, you guys
has a
made me
ghost
feel really
account
special,
where she
so I
posted on
appreciate
there,
it.
so
16 people
no
liked it.
one cares.
I can't believe it.
No one cares.
Get a
Hey man, I'll
Toyota.
take my 16 likes. I don't care.
It's fine.
I'm kidding. On my shit, I was posting like I was pretending to be Frank and Brian and Lindsay.
Yeah.
I am putting songs on my pictures like I knew what the hell's going
You're
on.
getting it.
On
You're
the flight because I was excited. I was like,
Yeah.
I got a song for every occasion, baby. Let's
Probably
do
over
it.
half of the watches on the drop YouTube, it's Frank and Brian just rewatching,
Just watching
the
it
same
over.
video. You
Just
know,
pumping those numbers.
yeah. Angie watches it over and over
Them
again,
right
and
there
then
who
critiques
likes
the
and
shit out of Frank.
subscribes.
Tony knows.
Yeah, Angie's on there. Do better, suck
Do
less.
better. Look at it. Look
Suck less.
at minute mark 23.35, you said this.
Man, did you listen to my conversations with
Yeah, it was
Yeah, I got
exactly the right.
That's why I wanted to stay at your house. I got little bugs up. Just kidding.
No, you're not.
No. I want to make more trips out west. I just I think about it all the time, and like I
There's
want
a
to
lot of planning that
It's
goes.
not.
Yeah,
a,
it
it's
is,
not a
yeah.
grass is greener. It's just.
It's not
different.
greener. It's just different.
I mean,
Yeah.
grass is definitely greener out here. Trust
Oh,
me.
yeah,
I've
seen it.
You know, you mow
I
a lot
would
of grass,
know.
so you know it's
Yeah.
definitely
I'm a grass
greener over here.
professional.
But it's just different. I was talking to somebody else today about because today this guy came over and was talking to me and Tiffany. He was talking about
Yeah.
her truck because
Yeah.
he has Brian. You said you know who it was. It's the guy with the red Tacoma, right? Yeah. And he came over and he was like.
Oh, he
Some
was all
guys
about
were
it.
talking to me before, and they said they're old school mini truckers, and I brought out my third year Mininats trophy that I still have in my garage. And I
That's
was like, "How
awesome.
about are you older than this?"
Damn.
The guy had, and he has the red Tacoma.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
parked
We
in his
talked to
head.
him for a little bit. He's
Yeah,
a
he
cool
was
guy.
a really, really fun
Yeah.
guy, and like. That's also another big part of mini trucking is let you have a truck somewhere. Bet if somebody doesn't come right over to you, how you get over speed bumps with that truck? No,
You know what
that guy was chopping it up with Tony and Tiffany, and then here you go Tiffany again. She's like she's not going to talk to strangers and stuff, maybe
Yeah.
like some of us do, but she was excited to talk about her truck, and I know that feeling when I first brought my truck out to Forbidden when it was at the Laughlin River Lodge. And I watched Frank come over and do a vlog with my truck in the background. I was ear to ear. Mm-hmm. I could not even begin to tell you how awesome it was to
It feels
see
cool.
people
Yeah.
give me props, and it was super cool. So I know, I mean, her trucks have always been cooler than mine, but
Yeah.
to see her have that kind of excitement, to have people come up to her and talking to her, she's
Yeah.
like, "I don't want to talk to you."
Right.
Could you not?
She
but at the
doesn't-
same time, she's like, "Yeah, no, we had this, and this is this, and then we did this, and we had to do that too."
Yeah.
And she was actually chopping it up with people because she loves trucks.
Yeah, oh yeah, she's in it. Like I tell a lot of people, I created a monster when it comes to her. Like she is becoming, you know, one of us instantaneously.
One of us.
Yeah,
One of
you know,
us.
she loves the, you know, the culture, the atmosphere, you know, all of it. So yeah, it's good to have a spouse that's in it as much as I am, because it makes it easy for us to go to
To
shows.
spend money.
Yeah.
Well, spend
Yeah.
money, number one, and
do
then,
fun
and then be
things.
able to go to the shows, right? So I know a lot of guys that's like their wives are like, "Oh no, you can't do it this weekend," or you know, or whatever, and I'm just like, "Well, we're going," you know what I mean? So like, it is what it is, and we like to go to a lot of shows, and you know, and do well at the shows. You always get a lot of people that's like, "Oh, trophy chasers." Yeah, I am. I like to win. Every part of my life, I want to win.
Yeah.
I am uber competitive. So it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I want to be the best at it. So, of course, if I'm going to go to a show and I spend thousands and thousands of dollars.
You're not the best at pitching in that game at the arcade.
No. No, Brian kicked my ass at the pitching game.
Brian killed
I whooped her ass at air hockey.
Air
too,
hockey.
so,
Well,
yeah,
I
mean, you
scored,
basically
I
suck.
scored your points for
It doesn't
you.
matter. Check the scoreboard, okay?
But yeah, so
W's.
it's great to have a spouse that's in it as deep as you are. So, you know, for all the guys out there that, you know, are looking to get married, find somebody that wants to be in it with you and not somebody that's against it. Because I see a lot of guys.
Or
don't
get married.
or what? Yeah, or don't get married. That's some good advice also.
Hi, Tiffany. Now that you're single. No,
Now that you're single.
I'm just kidding, Jamie.
There's a long line for that, just so you know.
Yeah, I mean, I stayed in line for a T-shirt today.
I waited for 6 hours. I'm ready to wait.
You'll wait for at least
And I'll stand in
35
line again
minutes.
to get my other poster to win that shit again. I'm gonna win twice.
You're gonna win the truck twice?
Yeah, somehow.
Oh, okay.
How many tickets you got?
5.
That's
Good
enough.
luck.
That's
so
it.
one poster.
That's
How many
enough
you
to
said?
win.
How many did you buy?
I got
You showed me a stack of cash that you had to buy tickets at that.
Yeah,
at
I
that.
got-
Yeah, he ate that corn. I gave him $200.
Oh, yeah.
So he bought it all.
that can of corn. Can of corn.
Sweet.
To all our
rubber
listeners,
corn.
there was a can of corn when we were skipping rocks, just sitting, by the water. Lindsay, you got a picture of that? You want to show us?
There's so many things I have video of it, not photos.
I offered Frank $200 cash money to eat the corn. He wouldn't do it. Nope.
We could have paid off the Tundra with that $200.
There was only 2 or 3 ants in it. It wasn't that big a deal. It looked pretty fresh.
Yeah.
It was Del Monte brand, so you name brand corn, Yeah, quality stuff. Frank said no. So if anybody finds that can of corn, I'll give him $200 to eat it.
How many tickets did you get?
15.
15?
Yeah.
Okay, so you bought 3 posters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you get posters?
I got one poster. I would have gotten more tickets. I just didn't
I
want
got-
more than one poster.
I got-
What am I going to do
Tony,
with 4
did you-
posters?
Yeah, I got 4
You could have
four
given
posters.
it to a kid, bro.
Well, I don't care about kids.
Yeah.
But you can keep the Damn.
Fuck them kids. That
You
is
and those ugly ass kids.
that is my motto. Fuck them kids. Yeah.
I've been counting.
I
That's
have 4 of
13 F-bombs from Tony.
I'm sorry.
Just so we're clear.
Yeah.
That's Brian, did you got some for yourself too? Yeah.
Yeah.
Frank.
Frank got some.
I got 5.
Yeah, we already did this.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Frank wrote. He wrote in pencil on Alan's tickets.
Can you throw me in the water?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Seth said if
That's
he
mine.
sells all
mine. His now?
1,000
You got it,
posters,
though. Go ahead.
that he was going to
I'm
do the
not sick.
giveaway tomorrow
All right,
at
thank
the
goodness.
auction.
Well, because mine was in the chair.
So hopefully,
over there now, but
hopefully he
you're
gets it
okay.
done.
Don't worry about it.
Doesn't matter.
You could just shout out our websites and then we'll see you next
Oh yeah.
I'll tap out. Here.
CustomLife.com.
I'm tapping out.
Live
You
life.
come over
week.
here.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
We're gonna be here for another 45 minutes with Frank.
No, I'm just sending them off. Okay. All right. Well, thanks, guys. That was awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Somebody's ready for us
watching,
to shut up.
watching the other side of it was pretty fascinating. You guys did a good job.
Yeah, thanks.
False.
Not really, Joey.
Oh, no,
Joey did a good job.
Joey did great.
Joey's
Tony
the vice
did a
president
cool
of the
job.
San Diego chapter.
All right, we're
Vice
gonna.
president.
Brian's coming
Vice
back in. It's 12 o'clock at night here
I'm
on.
gonna take you back.
Yeah.
Gotta-
Well, you guys left Grayson and Justin. You just fucking.
Oh yeah, they
I
didn't
know,
even
that
know
was-
where we went, right?
No.
They just
I texted Grayson. He didn't respond.
Who's the guy with the dually?
That's Grayson.
Okay, so we pull out of the cabin you're staying at, and then he gets in his dually, and I thought, okay, we're just gonna pull off, and then I'll film him, in his dually, and
Yeah.
then Brian goes,
And then it takes
like,
off.
At
Yeah,
no
just
point did I take off like that.
yeah, well,
yes, you did.
It might have sounded like
I
you.
was like, I guess we're not waiting for that guy.
I
It might have
told- I
sounded
told-
like that in the back, but it definitely wasn't
I
me.
told Grayson, I'm like, follow us. He'll film you. And then Brian was on his magic
Not today,
carpet.
Satan.
He was on his magic carpet, fucking sleeping.
Like Aladdin over
gotta
here.
get out of here.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was really fun. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Tony, Joey,
Joey, Tuna,
Tuna, Jeff,
Lindsay for the,
Lindsay for the
Live editing.
extra media.
Live editing, yeah.
Yeah, so if you really want to see all the stuff we're talking about, go over to the YouTube channel, check it out. But thanks
Yeah.
for everybody who came out to Mininats this past weekend. Really appreciate it. So
and bought stuff. If you're driving home, drive safe. We're on our way home. If you're listening to this Monday,
Yep.
Make
And we
the
got
trek.
an episode out. I'm very happy.
And if you've never been to Mininats, come to Mininats.
Make the
Yep.
trek.
Yeah.
Definitely, absolutely, 100%. But lowlifecustom.com, grander-tv.com,
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans /
El Gato Muerto.
SD Joey. It's only $5.99 a month, plus ups and extras.
Yeah.
ups and extras.
And then Tony Creative Customs,
Creative Custom Works.
Creative Custom Works
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Yep.
PP Poised, P Poised, and Tuna.
And
You know what's funny about Tuna? Because Tuna, you don't have an Instagram or like.
Yeah.
So what I was doing is I would just tag everybody and then just put at Tuna. So I don't know who I've been tagging in all these posts.
We're gonna be at
But
Sunkist.
it's something. It's something. But anyway. All right, we'll see you next week.
Later.
Bye.
See ya.